Hello everyone and welcome to the Ocarina of Time Randomizer Accessible Tournament Season 2 Round 1 between Kayzo and engineer124. With us we have our three wonderful commentators. Say hello, you three.
Evening, everyone.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
And hopefully, this one will be, I want to say, less of a pain, because my friend rolled this, so you can't blame me if this is a bad seed. Just getting that out there right now.
I don't know. You chose this specific friend. Therefore, it's on you.
Actually, I didn't. I had three other friends lined up, except they were all offline, so I had to get my fourth friend on the list to choose.
So this is your fourth choice friend rolled this seed. This sounds worse. The more you go on about it, the worse this sounds like it's going to be.
What do you mean? What's wrong with my fourth choice of friend choosing this seed?
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Oh yeah, they've swapped the file names. We've got that to deal with again. But that should be fine, right?
I do like engineers' file names though, it's a good bit of sportsmanship. Showing some support for his opponent.
I want some real shade on the next race, like some proper savage file names.
No place for savageness in Randomizer.
You say you want a savage seed, but all I'm thinking of is like some. Oh my god! Oh my! Sorry, engineer's sound for his menu caught me off guard.
I missed that one. I didn't have the sound on them. What was that?
It's the dogs. Each time, every time he activates something, it's the dogs.
Oh, we've got that to look forward to.
Alright, we're off.
Oh, they're both going Kokiri Sword first. I love it. I love it. Like, is this okay? Kokiri Sword first. Is this just like the one that people have optimized? Is that why everyone like? I swear most people go Kokiri Sword first.
I think the movement's really smooth, and I think if you're looking at Kayzo, he can grab those rupees at the same time as well. So I think the movement. Oh, we've got a condom straight out the gate.
Perfect start, right? Perfect.
Safe
But
seat,
no.
everybody.
Yeah. I was gonna say the other thing with Kokiri Sword is like you can do 3 side hops and backwalk into Mido's house.
And then you've got the backflips here, which is the extra couple of rupees
Right?
as well. So if you
Perfect.
find a 50 in Mido's house, then you don't need to farm to then go into Deku. So that movement going downhill, plus the extra rupees there, I think it's a solid play.
Ooh, early Zora tunic.
Is
Oh,
that
valid!
another vanilla validation rupee? That's like the third seed I've seen in the last 5 that's had a vanilla validation. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, I was gonna say the last one I did commentary on had that exact chest with validation rupees. So
Is this a repeat? Has Void accidentally given them the same seed as the other day?
we did have Nocturne on the Ocarina of Time 3 races in a row. So we know the test point, right?
I think so,
Oh.
yeah. There was
Oh,
also
we've
a
got-
Deku stick upgrade in Mido's house as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
is this
we've
the
got-
early Deku tree again?
Kayzo going early
Yeah.
Deku tree.
I love that that's kind of become like almost the meme strat during this season. But actually,
It's the Rob Dog strat.
right, but it worked. I've not seen it backfire yet.
No, it's Deku has been. I think Deku has been a medallion, or it's had at least something in it that's been required every single time.
I think if you've got the money to buy the shield, and in this case he picked up the Deku sticks, I think it's a really solid play to make. Meanwhile, Engineers has made his way straight to Hyrule Castle.
Ooh, that's
So
interesting.
he's going to go to the market. No one going south. Grotto then.
Ooh, Requiem on Ocarina of Time. I wonder how important that's going to be.
That's one of those hints that I hate seeing, because then you know you're going to get a load of like Way of the Hero items for like all dungeons for a single small key. It is the most infuriating hint.
Yeah, it's possible. We'll have to wait and see how much of a pain that's going to be, just in terms of getting there. You know, if they have to dip it a couple of times, they are going to have to just make their way there. But bigger one's dead, so
The red
that's
rupee.
not a terrible start.
Do you find it interesting that Engineer didn't go to the open grotto? Oh no.
Always missed it.
Lost rupee.
Close.
Yeah, there's like I want to say there's like 4 opening routes you can have. There's like we've got 2 here. We've got early Deku Tree. You've got straight to castle, and then you've got to the open grotto, straight to castle, or you've got literally the entire thing. So open grotto, Gerudo Valley, lake, and then go from there. And Engineer is really struggling in this second fail. Goodness.
Kayzo has picked up some Deku nuts as well, so he's got everything he needs to get through Deku.
Yeah, an early Deku stick capacity upgrade is almost way of the hero for me. There we go, 3rd time's the charm. Just $5.
Oh. Which feels worse then? Oh, same. Absolutely same.
Oh, Team
Look,
by no shield in Deku.
which one feels worse? Doing the shooting gallery twice, failing it, and giving up and leaving, and having that risk? Or doing it and getting something useless?
Oh, you never leave that. Thankfully, only missing 1. It doesn't cost anything else. I think all skulls just got killed off there.
They did.
In one
Like,
fell
one
swoop.
after the other, they just
And-
fell.
I think it was the Shadow Floormaster, the other one as well?
Yeah, Shadow Floormaster is just a piece of heart. I think I saw.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's not a bad series of hints outside the temple. Eliminates some of the biggest fears of having a horrible skull seed.
Had some nice variety on hints already. I'm not used to seeing, like, something terrible by this point.
Did he pick up the egg?
No, I don't believe he did.
No.
No, he's just gone straight adult, not opting to at least take the egg. That's oh, Deku Tree is a medallion, so either way, Kayzo is going to feel pretty good about that.
And a silver scale for Kayzo.
I didn't see if did we see Spirit there? I don't. Oh, Spirit's the forest medallion. Ooh, interesting. That's very interesting.
It's pretty hideous.
Shout outs to Polyganon, who is in chat, back with his puns. Nice and timely, nice and cringy.
Excellent.
I'm not sure, if you're making puns like that, you'd never expect any response other than a deep sigh, right?
This is, yeah, it's me, it's I'm gonna sigh at any pun that anyone ever makes.
I like a hearty guffaw when I make a pun. Just a ha-ha!
Oh my, Ganon. No.
Okay. Worth pointing out that we have the silver scale from Deku Tree, which will help for Kayzo's routing as soon as he leaves. The Azora River backdoor key, if you will.
I'm really curious to see how this pays off or backfires for Engineer. Like, this is intriguing.
It's not, I wouldn't say it's...
I think it's quite a standard sort of early adult route.
I think it's just the no egg that kind of gets me there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised by the no egg, but like, you can kind of bypass it. It wastes a little bit of time, but if, you know, when you go back to the Temple of Time as adult, if you quickly nip to Ganon's castle, you can turn it nighttime, pick up the egg, and by the time you get there, you've wasted about 30 seconds, but you will get there.
Vanilla Song
there.
of Storms in the mill there. That's one of my favourite songs in the entire game.
To get or just to listen to?
To listen to, generally.
I was gonna say,
Okay, 'cause-
It's a bit of a nightmare to get, yeah.
We all ready for that bottom of the well bait?
Yep, nice and early. Get your bets now on what item is going to be in the well.
Oh, Kayzo missed the one Cyclone Goma.
Plenty of nuts to deal with these Goma babies, though.
Can we open up that bet, Void?
Sorry, I was doing stuff in the background. What was the bet?
Can we open up a bet for an item that might be in the bottom of the well?
And a strength upgrade in the graveyard for Engineer.
Sure. Give me a sec.
And I believe that's no, that won't be a strength upgrade.
No,
Oh no, that was just a gold rupee. Yeah.
That was gold rupee.
Yeah, but early strength is a nice find.
Absolutely.
It's always a bit of an awkward one because like the first strength doesn't mean that much without a whole host of other items, but then the second strength is obviously such a big deal that you're pretty excited just to see the first one.
Yeah, strength 1 can be a barrier, but it's never something which is like really helpful on its own, as you say.
I guess DC getting it this early is the big thing, but
Finding it in Kakariko definitely makes going up to Dodongo's Cavern a slightly nicer choice.
Yeah, even if you can't finish Dodongo's Cavern, you can still dip it, and there's nothing wrong with dipping. You know, if you do this sort of the cycle around Dodongo's Cavern, you open up the big, you know, the sort of pillar to reach the top of the roof. If you have to leave there, it's not a terrible thing because you can just go back in, jump on the platform, go up to the bridge, and drop the bombs in the eyeballs.
meanwhile,
Dodongo is our spirit medallion this seed as well, so dipping is never a bad idea.
Engineer there was having a bit of trouble with the real villain of this game. I will hear nothing to the contrary.
The real big bad.
So I'm going to cut you off there just to say betting will be opening soon for bottom of the what will the bottom of the world contain? Opening
Fantastic.
now.
Get your bets in, folks. Is the well a bait? Does it have the hook shot? Does it have dins? Does it have something crazy in there? Let's go.
Kayzo now taking this route down to the South Grotto.
I was gonna say, how does the time of day work out if you do Deku Tree first?
So I think
It
when you
works
leave
out-
Deku Tree, it's midday.
Yeah. And I don't know. Can you go to this open grotto and then to the castle? Can you make that in time, or do you have to now go to the valley?
No, you
Never
can't
mind.
make it.
Never mind. Yeah, that was just a
if you-
Kayzo screen, and
Yeah, if you go Gerudo Valley and then you go fishing, it's actually okay. Like you can, the time of day works out okay if you go valley, lake, do fishing, and you catch the fish nice and quick, get the scarecrow, head on back, and you make it all right. It only doesn't work that way if you do it like, let's say you don't do the Deku Tree and you try and do that. You have to be super efficient at your routing to get there on time.
Kayzo,
I was
though,
gonna say,
however,
do
he
you-
has the silver scales, so by once he's done Gerudo
Oh.
Valley and he's in Lake Hylia, he could dip into Zora domain
Yep, absolutely.
straight
Yeah,
from there,
fair.
which sort of, which maybe makes the time of day a little bit better.
Yep, good. It could also be where the seed's pointing him to go, you know, an early scale could be like, yo, go in Zora's domain. We'll have to wait and see. And a temptation to quickly nip into Zora's river whilst it's open is quite high.
I was gonna say that time of day must definitely not work out.
Oh, I have no idea on that one.
I'd imagine
Not-
just going
not
down
nearly
to
enough
Zora's river
practice.
is enough to cause issues there.
I'm not good enough at Zora's river to accurately represent what these guys would get on a time of day cycle. I would lose my cuckoo normally like twice, so okay, what is in the waterfall?
I can never see.
Just a bloopy.
It's a bloopy.
Just a bloopy, complete garbage.
We're going to see this hint. That's the repetition of the Ocarina of Time.
Yep. Another reminder that they're probably going to have to walk all the way across the desert. Depending on where the long shot or opponent's song is. I'll have to wait and see with that one.
Engineer buying a Hylian shield. What do you all think of that?
Well,
Kayzo
seeing as
found
this,
his in Deku.
yeah, seeing as there's one in the Deku tree, he's going to regret that soon.
I like buying a shield if you know you're going to end up. If you've already got Epona's song or something pointing you towards GTG or Forest, I like buying the shield because fighting Stalfos without a shield might just be the worst thing I have ever done in this game.
That was our first way of the hero hint in Lake Hylia there. Death Mountain Crater is on the
Yes.
hero.
Now, does Engineer try to dip it with 3 hearts? Does
What are
he
the
try
odds?
and get the heart piece? Or does he leave that alone?
Engineer can only do the one check there.
Ganon's toilet's dead, ladies and gentlemen.
Get the emotes in chat now.
Get the emotes in chat, yeah.
Now getting another opportunity.
Who was it that wanted to change Ganon's toilet to Ganon's jacuzzi?
Whoever it is wrong. I've never seen clams in a jacuzzi.
That actually makes me laugh quite a bit. Ganon's jacuzzi. Just
See, I've heard both, but I think the toilet is more fitting because we both know it usually turns out to just be a pile of crap.
Absolutely. Zora's fountain is dead. Okay.
Yeah, but at the same time, I just like the idea of, I need to take a break from ruling all of Hyrule. Let's just go over to GTG and hang out in my jacuzzi with all the Gerudo girls.
And a couple of clams.
Oh, wild Trez appeared.
I just wanted to ask if Void did bullshit again. Like he always.
What? What's wrong with you, Trez?
You're a freaking sellout and discount all the crap.
What do you...
Did you literally come in here to insult Discount Trez? Is that what's just happened?
Yeah, of course. That's what I've been doing for the past few weeks.
You know what? I've already got this prepared, so just gonna stick it on the screen.
You know,
Also,
this was supposed to be a professional restream, and then Void joined the team, and since then it's all memes. Before, and we were super professional. Every single stream was just great, top-notch commentary on 100% high professional niveau.
You've literally got the BBC newscast on comms. What more could you want out of a commentary team?
Alright, apparently people like memes. I'm going.
Thank you, people, for actually defending me for once. Usually people just enjoy my suffering. Okay.
We're all like, I feel I have to defend the British as we are a very British commentary right now. It only makes sense.
I mean,
Any other time, you know, if an American caster was here, then yeah, I'd shit all over you. But you know, today we'll stick with you.
if you leave, how else are people going to then enjoy your suffering, right? Gotta keep you around.
Fair enough. Can't argue with that.
Also, during all of that time, we picked up a big Poe and a wallet. So, I don't want to say there was anything useful, but we could have had some pretty awful memes coming in, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see if that big Poe pays off. It's nice to find a big Poe. Oh, strength 2, okay.
Wow.
Wow.
That's not a bad find. Oh, hello, that's a nice purple tunic.
Oh,
we've got
I like
two purple tunics.
I think I prefer the water purple. It's slightly darker.
Slightly dark, yeah, I'm behind that.
I was going to say, are we allowed to be biased at this point? Because I kind of want to root for Engineer now, just based on the fact that he went between the two tunics and picked which one looked best.
He's a man of fashion.
Isn't that what Randomizer is? It's a game of fashion.
Pretty much.
I do miss the seeds where we all had the same randomized colours, and there was the palpable excitement when someone picked up a tunic, and you were waiting for them to put it on just so you could see what the new colour would be.
I liked it when people used to complain at the very start, oh my god, no, it's hot pink! And everyone was like, hot pink's great, what are you talking about?
I will say though, one of my favourite additions to 4.0 is the colourful sword streams.
Oh,
I think they're just fantastic.
Lightsaber sword trails.
Yeah, they're
Most
brilliant.
excellent. So Kayzo showing off flame storage there, very nice example of how to do that properly. Only gets him a piece of heart though, nothing special. Engineer with the first Song of Storms check. We'll see if that pays off or whether we are still pointing towards the well. Just a bloopy.
So I'm all on board for that wallet being Way of the Hero right now.
Hope so. King Zora, let's go. The first seed to have a King's Aura as
Farore's
required.
wouldn't say no to that.
Nope, that's a nice find early. Too many seeds have had that sort of hidden away right till the very end.
I was going to say, we've got the 2 magics as well that, you know, aren't needed, but with Shadow being a stone today, I'd imagine the runners don't really want to see Din's Fire just yet.
No, probably not.
No.
Okay, Kayzo going down the river. Graveyard Way of the Hero.
The hero.
Oh.
Of course,
that
we have.
could be strength 1.
Absolutely.
Engineer showing off his strength here in the Goron maze.
It's all about the gains.
Hammer here would be a big deal, I think. I always feel like if you find a hammer locked behind the silvers in the Goron maze.
Just a prescription. Oh, the water temple is barren. That's a fantastic hint to get.
It is a medallion, so not as good as it could be, but...
No, but still knowing you don't have to search any more of water than just the boss key is always pleasant. But other than a hint and a bit of a dodgy prescription from a bit of a dodgy GP, we don't need anything from the boulder maze.
Always good to have some useful information, though.
Absolutely. We'll see if he chooses to use his strength and see what's behind Medigoron. He's going to attempt to stop Link the
That's
Goron.
double defense in Zora's River.
I didn't quite see.
I
Oh,
think the model for double defense is slightly shinier than your average heart piece, so...
Is it?
I can't remember. I wasn't sure if it had something in the middle. Like, I think the middle of the heart container
It's
is like...
shinier and it's got a thicker outline to it.
This is all news to me.
I've just watched far too much Randomizer, that's how I know these things.
Okay, Engineer, stop and link the Goron with strength, which is a bit of a pain to do sometimes, but he does it well.
Kayzo got the winner heart piece, so...
And
Halfway there,
making
really.
his way
Lead is
into
over.
Death Mountain Crater, which is Way of the Heroes, so we'll see what he picks up here.
And of course, he's found the Goron tunic, so no need to worry about
Let's see if I'm right.
rushing it.
I was wrong. There
You
you
were
go.
wrong.
I was wrong.
I guess I should have pointed this out sooner, but Blade Bang was saying that yeah, you're actually imagining it. So, yeah, there is no differentiation between the normal one and double defense. So, yeah.
Well, it's nice to dream. Good job, chat. You broke Hanukkah's dreams.
I'll never commentate again.
It took 20 minutes. She's off the team.
That's it, I'm done.
That's very British of you.
Just throw in the towel and leave quietly.
I'm not going to make a French joke, I swear. Anyway, the Death Mountain Crater freestanding heart piece was just a bloopy, so there is something behind bombs or a hammer, or maybe the song.
It could be the song. as I
Right.
say.
Both our Way of the Hero locations so far could just be songs, which is always... feels a little bit bad.
As Kayzo's doing child cuckoos.
Very early.
Ooh.
Okay, so I like doing chickens early. I think that is a good call. But you want to do it once you've got the letter.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the thing is as this early child, you're going to be making a few stops back and forth to CAC, you know, especially if you don't have bombs yet. So it's not the end of the world coming here early, but yeah, you'd probably want to do this before Zelda's Lullaby. After Zelda's Lullaby, just for optimal routing.
It's certainly turning into an unconventional route. Although that was Kakariko Village, Way of the Heroes, so...
Nice.
See it.
No for Kayzo yet.
There could also just be another song. So
It
not
could
not
be.
entirely
Song
clear.
Could
Right.
It could
Three
be
songs.
Song of Storms.
It could be Song of Storms. It
Oh,
could
that's
be a
true,
massive
actually.
bait.
I'm not implying anything. But
Serenade there on a minuet. Jabu Jabu is Way of the Hero. Okay.
Oh,
that is a
That is a
stone.
stone. That is disgusting, is what it is.
Stone
Void, I no
Jabu.
longer believe that you did not make this seed.
Stone Jabu Way of the Hero for Ruto's
Oh.
letter? Is that even possible? No.
No.
Stone Jabu Way
there
of the-
are limits to how bad Void can make this seed. That is.
Okay, hold up.
I didn't make the seed! I did
Let me think of the worst. Let me think of the worst thing possible, and I'm leaning towards Jabu Way of the Hero for the Iron Boots, which gives you an item from outside Ice Cavern.
Which it gives you the boomerang for outside Ice Cavern, which makes you go back into Jabu Jabu.
After
Double
King
decker
Zora has
stone
Ruto's letter.
Jabu. Oh no,
Oof.
that's cruel.
Well, it is discount Trez.
Oh, Fountain is barren. Never mind yet. Diving in the lake is dead. Damn.
Man can dream. Oh, some bomb shoes off Andrew there. That'll be useful up until we find our first bomb bag. It is only a 10 stack, so he might have to scum a few of these depending on his
I
choice of
think
play
that
here.
makes that cuckoo play. That'll certainly Kayzo will feel like he's made a good choice there.
Immediately throws one of them to get to these redeads, though.
Well, Kak is. I don't think he knows it, but Kak is Way of the Hero, so it makes perfect sense.
He does
for
not
us,
know that.
at least.
Engineer found that in the Sacred Meadow.
Yep, 10th Doctor pointing out that we have hints that pretty much everything that Iron Boots can unlock is barren or dead.
Unless there's a gold scale in the Tektite Grotto.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we still need something on diving in the lab.
So the
Unlike
four-way the
the-
hero hints that we have this seed is Death Mountain Crater, Stone Jabu, Kakariko Village, and the Graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We got Strength in the Graveyard already, and we got Song of Storms in
Song
Kakariko,
of Storms,
so...
Kakariko
Fox
Village.
2 is dead.
Oh!
The meme is dead.
I think that's all the really horrible checks apart from Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time being Requiem is a bit of an unknown quantity right now.
Mhm.
Not sure on how savage that's going to be. Looks like they're going to dip. Oh, there's a skull mask here.
I was about to
That's
say
a nice little treat.
I was going to say there could be a load of like medium checks that are still live, like Skull Mask. No, okay.
Nope,
There goes that one.
it's gone.
That's every hint already. Wow.
Yeah, that's essentially. Yeah, that is everything. Damn.
I'll be interested to see if Engineer now does sort of a traditional 3-song route from ZL to the ranch and into the Lost Woods and see if we find Epona song relatively early with that Requiem of Spirit being an Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. That's song information here is going to be quite important.
Yeah, I've got to assume the 3 songs happening, if nothing else, for the excuse to go back to Deku Tree along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Kayzo now making a play to go adult.
So just
Fine.
just to recap, we do have every single hint. 30, 40, 50, Big Goron, Frogs 2, the Shadow Temple Floor Master, the Toilet Bowl, and Skull Mask are all dead. The Forest Temple Floor Master is a small key, and the Ocarina is the Requiem of Spirit.
Way of the Hero, Death Mountain Crater, Graveyard, Kakariko Village, and Jabu. Baron is Zora Fountain and the Water Temple.
Yep. That's no more information. We're on our own now, boys.
Of course, it is split between the two of them, so they will still be searching for hints for a little while longer until they are fully rounded.
Kayzo having a slightly better shooting gallery than Engineer did earlier.
He did very well with the shooting gallery. I thought he was going to go adult. He seems to have changed his mind.
Yeah, it looks like he just wanted to check the hints, maybe in case market was barren or something like that, instead of doing the target minigame, then finding out market was barren.
Engineer finding those cuckoos very quickly.
Yeah, speed running the chicken game.
That was a perfect 3 for 3, right?
It was a 3 for 3. Makes up for a shooting gallery performance earlier. I can't say anything. I can't do the shooting gallery for my life. I'm terrible at it.
The one thing that's still, in terms of like being bad at the game, the one thing that still always catches me off guard watching this is when you see people doing horseback archery. Watching someone who knows how to do horseback archery doing it perfectly is pure bewilderment for me.
It is one of my favourite things about watching Randomizer, and especially when it comes to the tournament and the bracket races in particular, is just watching how good these people are at this game. Like, I am astonished with how good they are. It's very enjoyable to watch.
Really good example of that is Marco's run from yesterday. It's amazing execution throughout his entire race there. It was a really great watch if you want to watch that one. That is Nocturne on Malon there, which is a very nice warp song to get. Not necessarily something that's going to be required, because Shadow is a stone, but...
So I'm going to call this now, and I think I vaguely mentioned the risk of it earlier. I'm gonna lock in my prediction now for this. The game is going to expect this to be all dungeons for a single small key in the Spirit Temple, and it will actually, like, half our way of the hero hints, like, Jabu will not actually be required.
No, you don't think Jabu is going to be required?
I think one of the way of the heroes will be solely to get a single small key in Requiem for key logic.
Nah, Jabu's gonna have something. Jabu will have an item that's required. You might be right in terms of the Requiem logic, but I'm certain Jabu is gonna have a required item to finish this, and not a stone item troll, if you know what I mean.
I'm not.
But
sure
that's just me.
I'm not sure if Jabu would be able to point to the stone as way of the hero if we know Requiem's on the Ocarina of Time. Maybe I'm just getting my hint logic mixed up.
I think Yoshi's more pointing towards the fact that Jabu might have an item just for another stone instead of a medallion.
I'm with you.
Jabu for Din's Fire, and then or some chain that leads to Din's Fire, and then all for a small key.
I'm gonna go with a hammer in Jabu. But of course, that is a complete guess.
Thinking on it now, actually, the biggest troll it could be would be Vanilla Boomerang. Jabu way the hero for all dungeons for a Vanilla Boomerang.
I think the biggest troll would be the slingshot.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that would be that'd be disgusting.
Spend all that time to get there, and it's the slingshot.
Oh man, that would feel really gross. Or you've found like an out of logic magic, and there's like second magic in Jabu.
So Kayzo following in Engineer's footsteps, at least to the ranch.
It won't be long before he starts his Adult 1 cycle now. He's already done the Deku Tree, of course, so...
Engineer letting the scrub get away from him for a bit there.
Engineer doesn't want no scrub.
I think this was the room with the scale, right?
I can't remember where the scale was in the tree.
I think you're right.
Nope. There's the shield that he's already bought.
Oh, and a blue piece.
And a blue pea. Next room, perhaps.
Ah, okay, yeah. Apparently up top. Also, yeah, is this the point where Engineer feels bad about buying that shield earlier?
100%.
Oh, definitely. I have to say, I am always buy a shield.
I am. I used to be never buy a shield, never do chickens, and I've been converted on both fronts. So
I died too many times to never buy a shield. So
yeah, I think the thing that swayed it for me was having to do GTG on 3 hearts without a shield, and it turns out trying to fight Stalfos with 3 hearts and no shield doesn't go well.
No.
So the sort of first and last time I attempted to go without buying a shield, it took me 3 hours and 45 minutes to actually find one, and it was a mirror shield. And at that point, I was so fed up of getting repeatedly smashed in the face by Stalfos and not being able to ground jump. I was like, never doing this again.
Burned once.
I will always buy a shield. I will take the 45 seconds to farm those rupees and buy that shield.
See, I'm similar on that front with chickens, where I twice during the qualifiers didn't check chickens, and one of those times I got a Ganon hint for the light arrows in Kakariko when I'd full cleared the rest of it, and the other time it was the strength 2 that I'd been missing for the entire run, so now I always check chickens early.
Gotta say, Kayzo is...
taking the time to pick up the blue arrows there.
Yeah, really wants the blue fire.
He's gonna murder Bongo Bongo later.
If he now doesn't use those, I'll be really upset.
Right, so
I'll be severely disappointed if he doesn't use them.
they both got the validation rupee, but Kayzo's got the winner heart piece and went out of his way to get the ice arrows. Like,
so I think this match is settled, right?
Right, whoever wins the actual race, we know who's won in our hearts. Like, although I still appreciate Engineer taking the moment to double check the tunic colours earlier.
So you guys are like, oh yeah, he's gonna win in our hearts. I'm having an idea of they're both like rushing to Ganon, but Kayzo loses by a millisecond just because he decided to open the validation chest. That's where his memeing is gonna take him.
Oh, you'd feel so bad.
Yeah, like, which thing do you blame there, though? Do you go, like, do you wish you hadn't opened the validation chest? Do you wish you hadn't picked up the ice arrows?
Do you wish that you hadn't have messed up the shooting game twice?
That was Engineer.
I know, I was just, as an example.
Oh.
I do think we'll have a close race between these two, though, because they are very, very close in the bracket seedings.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was only 50 points between, or less than 50 points in their final total scores after the qualifiers, so that sort of tells you that they should be close in skill level.
Sort of 11th downwards were very tight in terms of points. Like the very last qualifier, there was like still 3 or 4 movements that could have happened based off the amount of races that some people still had to go. So it was incredibly tight all the way through.
Oh yeah,
so
we've
this one, and then the later race this evening is between sort of 16, 17, I think they are.
Alright, it's Exodus and Roscoe Tyrant.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yeah, a bit of a discussion in chat about flame storage. I am probably not the person to be explaining this because I don't understand the mechanics especially well, but it's something to do with putting the torch away as soon as it connects with the flame, and then when you pull it out, it basically still thinks it's touching the flame, but that does mean that the flame has to still be on screen.
Sorry, Kayzo has actually picked up the gold scale from the Ocarina game in Lost Woods.
Oh. Well, that is a very dead Irons then.
Yeah, if we weren't already thinking that Irons were dead. Unless you have to do get the boss key from the central pillar chest, the Irons are probably dead.
They did get a Zora tunic in Mido's house.
They did.
I think we need to start timing out puns in chat. I'm just going to call it now.
Polyganon is coming in with the good puns tonight, though.
Good is very much an opinion.
Oh, I
Good
think
by
it's
pun
good.
standards.
Gold scale in water, considering in logic. I believe it is for all but one of the checks.
It's
No,
not
gold
in
scale is
logic.
not considered at all.
Yeah, it's not in the logic, but it's possible to do all but, I want to say 2 checks.
I think it's just one. I think it is literally just the central pillar chest.
I think that's where maybe I was getting mixed up.
Yeah, the tunic logic is just the logic is that the tunic is only required for central pillar. But there's no gold scale logic for the water temple. It still thinks and assumes you should have irons to get in there.
An engineer will also find his gold scale here.
Note that Kayzo is down to 5 bomb chews. Doesn't seem to have save scummed any.
No, he doesn't appear to have done.
So hopefully that doesn't bite him in the butt a bit later on. Alright, and with that, the only real difference in items so far is strength. We don't have anything at the minute like this. We genuinely don't really have any usable items here, other than a few chews.
It's a vanilla Saria, yeah, and vanilla Song of Storms.
Vanilla Saris is actually quite nice to find this child because it means you can just get out the woods, go straight back in for the Skull Kid, and because he doesn't have bombs yet, he won't have been thinking Goron City just now. So when he does that, he can wrap up all of his checks at once, provided he has Zelda's Lullaby. We'll see if we can get to any more than 6 vanilla songs. The very first race in this bracket, in the brackets, had 6 vanilla songs, and it was nuts.
I'm curious as to where Kayzo is going to go from here, because
I think he's got to go adult.
Yeah, he's really, really stretching out this Child 1 cycle. Considering the items he doesn't have, he really needs to sort of consider going adult now.
Well, it's just... The other thing is, Kayzo checked Zora River earlier, so diving that way doesn't do much. I guess go via Goron City to Kakariko, but...
Yeah, well, I think there's... I don't think either of the runners have done Have they done graveyard digging yet?
No, they have not.
No, so that's the sort of...
is the only one that's been into Kakariko as a child, and it was during the day.
So yeah, the only check we know is... Well, that we don't know right now on Child is probably Dampe digging. And obviously, the well is open. You know, they can choose to go into the well if they want. They don't have Zelda's Lullaby or logical bombs, so they can't check everything.
Does anyone ever want to go into the well, though?
No.
No.
Just straight up no. Chat having a good point. Kayzo hasn't done Frogs 1. So Engineer's about to
Kayzo doesn't
show that
have
for
the
us.
Song of Storms.
Kayzo's still an adult.
No, he doesn't.
That was at the mill.
So we'll see now if that's gonna come back to haunt him a little bit. The Engineer's gonna check that imminently.
Oh, Engineer does the hard part and then
and then just jumps off.
This is good effort.
I mean, we've got to start finding items soon, so this might very well be something.
And that gold scale is terrifying, right?
Just money.
Huge rupee.
So we've got the well. We've got a few adult checks. We've got sort of an early dip into Dodongo's cavern with strength, which no one's done yet. We've got the gold scale, so Tektite Grotto is, I mean, strictly can be checked, but with a minimal bomb shoes, it's not likely to be checked.
Right, Engineer found the silvers in Dodongo's cavern, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Sorry, you're right. There has been a Dodongo.
So, I guess the only... Right now, I'm thinking Engineer's early adult has paid off pretty massively so far. The one big saving grace for Kayzo is having those chews and being able to finish Dodongo's Cavern on the way through, potentially.
Yeah, I think
run through half of his pack already, though, and not actually taking advantage of the fact that he's got this early explosive. So if he is gonna, you know, make a play with them, he's gonna have to find something with him quite soon to get a head start over Engineer.
Right. Yeah, I mean, just having strength on its own isn't going to provide Engineer too much of an advantage. Like, he can't use that right now, and it's not going to be long before Kayzo catches up.
Yeah, I don't think Kayzo will, you know, he won't avoid the strength for much longer, whereas Kayzo found those bomb chews on Child Cuckoos, which Engineer might actually give a miss for quite a while. So unless he stumbles across a bomb bag soon, those explosives could be the edge in this race at the moment.
So it's just hit me, but song checks are really concerning right now for these two.
I mean, they're not terrific.
We've no Zaddle's Lullaby, we've no Epona's Song.
And Spirit being the Forest Medallion, it's starting to look like one of ZL or Epona's might show up quite early. But then the other one might be sat in the wasteland.
Well, just in terms of songs, I mean, we can't check Bolero right now. And without Zelda's Lullaby, we can't get the other ones. So
yeah,
Bolero has to be important, or they're going to have to take a big trek over to Requiem to find a decent song there.
Have we seen Minuet yet?
Yeah, Minuet was Serenade.
Right, that was... okay.
And
So, yeah.
Saria's check with Saria.
Right, sure, yeah. So, yeah, that's terrifying then. So the hope would be what Bolero is, ZL, and then the Composer Grave has Epona's, so they can get towards Spirit.
I think so.
Strength 1... was that the Shield Grave, or was that Dampe?
No, it's a shield grave.
Dampe had nothing but pain.
Pain and misery.
As per usual.
Yeah, as is a Dampe standard. Child fishing was absolute garb.
Now, Engineer, you can do the diving in the lab as a child here in Lake Hylia as well, can't you?
That's true, yeah.
So that's an extra check that Engineer can pick up that Kayzo didn't. Kayzo, sorry.
And like I say, we're running out of checks, so we really need one of these things to be important soon. The further we go, the more I'm inclined to think the well might actually be important.
Kayzo with the Nightmare Dampe star.
Yeah, the immediate smack to the face.
It's always the worst with that because I mean I've made it very clear how much I hate Dampe in his race, and it's always the worst with that because you can just see that you're about to get hit and there is nothing you can do to stop it by that point. Accept your fate, move on.
Wondering if Engineer is going to go back to the lake to get the owl, because he didn't do the lab but he didn't plant the bean, so I'd like to imagine he's going to do the checks here and then dive back out and then
I imagine he might. I think that's quite a
Got
nice,
to think so,
a nice
yeah.
route, yeah.
...51 seconds there for Kayzo, not too bad despite the
decent
early flame.
Oh no. Okay. Apparently I should think before I talk. Okay. You'll know what I meant.
And his competitive racing.
To distract everyone from that, time to sell out. So, everyone, currently, I do not know the sub-count because we are on CSR2, but if you do want to support the Zelda speedruns, then please subscribe to the main channel. Over there we have a sub goal of 450. If we reach 450, then we will do a multi-world all sanity with the ZSR staff.
Ooh.
Oh my god, does that mean none of us are getting any sleep anytime soon, as soon as that starts? And on top of that, if you want to support us even more, at 500 subs, me and Trez are having a bake-off live from a kitchen that Trez is going to rent out in Germany. So, if you guys want to see me and Trez do a bake-off, please subscribe to the main channel. It helps us out a lot. Thank you, guys.
And if you don't want to see a live bake-off between Trezco and Discount Trez, there is something wrong with you. Who wouldn't want to see that glorious, glorious bake-off in action?
I'd seen the cooking simulator goal. I had not seen that one, and that.
Yeah,
I love it.
We got the best part of 100 subs yesterday. We went from like 300 to 400 in one stream. We bypassed. We met the Stardew Valley, Kuiper, and Void have a farm exclusively with chickens goal. So that's going to be entertaining.
Yeah. Yesterday was kind of crazy. Yeah, we had like 140 subs in that one stream. It blew up, and we hit the Kuiper goal. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. But these are our 2 current goals. So if you want to see either of those, feel free to support by subscribing to the main channel, not this one. This one has crappy emotes.
An engineer does do the dive in the lab.
Just
Doesn't
a
do
heart
anything
piece.
for the time.
So
You also planted the bean here as well, though, which I like.
Definitely.
I mean, it's looking more and more likely that bean is going to be necessary because again, we're running out of checks.
Did engineers see what was on top of the crater?
I think it's just a heart piece.
Right. Okay.
I
It
think
didn't
it was
look-
a heart piece or a shield.
Yeah, it didn't look important. So we've got Lake Hylia as adult. We've got bottom of the well, and I want to say that's it.
Can we do much more in Goron City?
Not without a bomb
No.
bag. Not without
No.
songs and a bomb bag. We've checked the Goron maze as much as we can,
We have, yeah.
and there's really not much left. We know that Skull Mask is dead, so they don't have to worry about that one. So we've got the Big Poe. There's a
We do have the
reminder
Poe
there.
to
They
hand
do have
in.
the Big Poe to
Right.
hand in. We've
Yeah.
got 10 and 20 skulls if required. Lake Hylia and the well.
Something could be on 10 or 20 skulls.
Kakariko Way of the Hero.
Yeah, for sure.
That would make sense.
The only thing we've got from CAC so far is Song of Storms, and we're not sure if anything's behind that yet.
I do worry that seeing the 50, 40, 30 skull hits fall so quickly that actually they've not been going to collect skulls that much. And picking up the sort of extra 1 or 2 when they're making their way through sort of Dodongo Cavern.
I mean, it doesn't help that they don't actually have the items to
No.
get the skulls. So
That's
it's
a fair
not.
point.
It's going to be on their mind. Like even this skull here, it does. I'm not sure you can get this skull with a jump slash, and he's certainly not going to waste a bomb tube.
No.
Yeah, I guess the bottle is the kind of big saving grace there, but even that
So
requires them to go and turn in that Big Poe first.
Engineer has come straight back to like Hyla as an adult. He's gonna ride this bean.
Yep, I think this is good play.
Can respect that, yeah.
He's going to
He's
struggle
gonna
to
have
kill
wait
this
until
Gwei.
until he comes into within sword's reach.
Goddamn birds.
Fun fact, if you kill 8 of them in a row, you get to spawn a massive Gwei.
Oh.
Oh, there's a slingshot.
It's
Yeah?
shot.
I mean, Jabu isn't Way of the Hero for a slingshot, at least.
That is true, and we do now have the slingshot game available. Of course, we've already done Deku, but
And it does mean that he can maybe collect a couple more skulls a little bit more easily.
Okay, adult fishing, what have we got? Really running down our checks now. Really need to find something soon.
I'm going to be curious to see here as well if Kayzo decides to use those chews and finish DC.
I think he will. You need 3 chews to finish Dodongo's Cavern. He's still got 5. Well, I guess
2 plus this check, right?
You've also got the to bomb the ground to get into Dodongo's lair itself. So I guess 4 all told. What we got in fishing? Oh,
Oh no!
nothing but pain.
That was cold, fisherman.
Alright, activate the scarecrow at least. That's nice for later. I know that's one of those things that can really struggle to actually activate for a long time.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that's difficult to root in, but I mean, I guess when they're running this low on options...
where on earth he's going to go now.
Yeah, like, options are very limited. Yeah, I mean, he's got a hand in the Poe, right? Surely.
Hand in the Poe. And then, well?
I mean, at this point, he's out of adult checks, so yeah, I guess you hand... Oh, he's not handing in the Poe. Maybe he's forgot that he even has it.
It's got to be the well, then. Oh,
no, maybe he's just remembered.
Detour.
Yeah, he's just remembered.
He's remembered the Poe. Yeah, because Lens of Truth is only required for the chess minigame and the bracket stages.
That's right, yep.
So they don't need Lens and they don't need magic.
Oh, we've got Iron Boots, which we know are pretty much dead. So that really doesn't help at all.
Okay, so the one thing I can think of here... they need to find the hook shot somewhere. I guess it's not going to help anyway, because if they find both hook shots, then they're miles away anyway. Ignore me.
Consider yourself ignored. Big pose is Din's Fire!
Oh no!
Which again is not helpful right now. They don't have magic.
I was wrong about the way of the heroes, at least.
Yeah, they do have Nocturne, but they don't have magic. So maybe if magic is in the well, then it's pointing to Stone Shadow. But of course they don't have a hookshot or hovers to even get through. No. So
just a small question, and I'm assuming the answer is yes. But
the bottom of the Jungle's Cavern and a set.
Engineers started by going straight adult.
Yep.
Has he actually gone back to check the open grotto at any point?
He has not.
I don't know actually.
I don't believe he has.
I'm not sure if he went there from Deku Tree. Either way, nothing on the big lizard, just 20 rupees. Of course, he does get a medallion.
Apparently Engineer hasn't done the Druida Valley either.
Right, Dampe. Come on, Dampe, you've got to pay out. Nope.
Did in fact pay out, but...
Not the payment we were looking for. Okay, well, I think Engineer's going to the well. I think it's just an absolute certainty at this stage.
He has to.
He might get some skulls first. Nope. Diving straight in.
Have we seen the Song and Storms check in Kakiri Village?
I think we did, yeah. I think
so I think Engineer did it, but...
I saw him do the one outside Goron Sissy here, that Kayzo's doing.
Also, just worth noting that Kayzo did not, in fact, save scum those chews.
No,
none.
I mean, he got a medallion out of them, so you don't really want to waste time and have to go do that again.
But just use the last one on the side of Death Mountain Trail.
Yes, he's not been efficient with those, to say the least. You know,
the thing that
is very conservative with them at all.
Is the Death Mountain Crater Way of the Hero? Like you want to use at least one checking that grotto up there.
Yeah, I'd agree. Actually, I think using that on the boulder in there would be sensible. Okay. Bomb bag in the well, maybe?
Light arrows.
Oh, light arrows.
So the well is not a trap at the very least.
Okay, let's see what else we find in the well. I mean, hopefully it's not just light arrows, because then we're still screwed.
Light arrows would be our way of the hero, though.
Oh yeah,
Some
absolutely.
Storms and Kakariko, but hopefully there's something else as well.
Just categorically not useful right now.
So there has been a running joke with the well being bait, where it's been a terrible idea every time it looks promising. But when you come in with only like half the things you need, no bomb bag, no ZL, at that point it just pays out absolutely.
So the moral of the story is go well early.
Is it like chickens where you do it early or you never do it?
I think
You always do the well, and you just accept that 9 times out of 10 it's going to bite you in the ass. Something else has to be here, surely.
I swear my heart just stopped for a second watching Engineer navigate that room, because I don't know exactly where the pits are in that central room, I just know there are pits, and he rolled straight past them. More chews!
More chews, which is going to help further. Only the 5 stack.
Ooh.
Does he save scum? You know, does he get the checks in the well and then save scum the bombs, or? Well, I guess we'll see. I think you scum these. I think you do all the checks you can without chews, and then you scum the 3 chews that you're going to need. There we go. There's the save.
Yeah.
Kayzo opening the forest shortcut with strength.
I like that. Heading into...
Bigaron is dead, yes, just a red rupee on Bigaron.
He's heading into Death Mountain Crater for the first time, and he's gonna... Again, no choose to check that grotto. Man, we're an hour in, and we are not finding much use.
Right, they've got a lot of items, but nothing that really amounts to anything.
I'm wondering if it's only going to be on the slingshot target game.
Right, what are even our options at this point? Target in the woods.
Target in the woods.
Skulls.
Yeah, 10, 20 skulls, target in the woods, and I honestly think that's it. And there's the last check in the well.
So not entirely a trap. We did get the light arrows, but nothing useful right now.
Oh wait, no, that's not the last check. He hasn't scummed the chews yet. He's still got the two.
We've still got 2 bomb ones.
We didn't see
Yeah.
Steve.
We can't see Steve right now.
Can't believe I forgot about Steve.
Oh, of course,
You
yeah,
guys are
sure.
heartless. Forgetting about Steve. Shaking my head.
No, never mind, it was the
Sorry.
airlocked. I forgot that part, so...
I didn't forget
it's on
about
me.
Steve.
Void, forgive me. It's my first time. I'm so sorry I forgot about Steve.
I'll forgive you this time.
Thank you. I feel like I need a Dido backing track every time I say forgot about Steve.
There's a name I haven't heard in about 12 years.
Ah! Showing my age.
Oh, well, choose were nothing. Alright, so we are literally down to 3 checks.
Oh my god.
We are down to the target game. We are down to 10 skulls and 20 skulls. Goodness me.
I'm sure we've got to be forgetting something here, but I'm thinking and just...
I mean, we've got checks under choose, but I'm not counting them as like
No, yeah.
checks right now because there's a few of them. You know, there's all of the grottos in Hyrule Field, for example, but I think we're going to see 10 skulls real soon here if Engineer doesn't waste all of his sticks.
He's got quite a few sticks. I think we should be fine.
He's got that's his 6th skull, so he can get 10 skulls.
He's also got the slingshot.
Here. Yeah. I can't believe how dry this has been in terms of actual progression.
Right, like, yeah, it's just come up in chat that we had all the hints in 25 minutes, but apparently none of the items.
Yeah.
No item.
And they're good hints as well.
Skull mask. That we got a hint for. Never mind. Ignore me.
We have got a hint for Skull Mask.
I saw the guard, I instantly jumped to Skull Mask. It really is just those three. Oh my god.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else. Alright, let's see 10 skulls then. So we've got a 33% chance that this is something. There we go!
Big shot.
Okay.
On 10 skulls.
Oh wait,
And
I forgot. I completely forgot I had a bet for bottom of the well, and I was just sat here, just like, am I forgetting something?
Oh,
Yeah, we are long since past that one. It turns
I was
out.
going to say, I think there was a light arrow bet after the light arrows were seen, but other people will have won that because there were a lot of light arrow bets quite early.
I didn't see any. I don't see any light arrows on here. I could be like blind, but no light arrows.
Someone put LA just after it was after they were found.
Yeah, I already see that, but yeah, there is no light arrows. So
No one gets light
There
arrows at
were
the bottom of
bets
the well.
for choose, which were also there apparently.
Ah, that don't count. That's not an item.
that's not an item. Doesn't count for progression. Doesn't count.
I mean, technically, we haven't seen all the items in the bottom of the well yet.
That's true.
I mean, that's true, but I've already cleared it, so you can't blame me.
Oh well.
Can we get a different bet for the what's way of the hero in Jabu?
it can't be slingshot now, which is a shame.
Right, it's not Din's fire or the slingshot. It actually matters, unless it's the boomerang.
You saying that Lord Banana doesn't matter?
I really want it to be the boomerang, just to point to that all dungeons, one small key. Hovers might matter more. We've got the boomerang for 10 and 20 skulls are both in logic at this point, and 30 to 50 are dead. Hovers could be good for Forest Temple or Volvagia?
I think hovers. The main use for hovers would potentially be getting across the wasteland. If Requiem is
Also that.
Requiem of Ocarina of Time, then getting across that wasteland is going to be quite important. I mean, I'm sure these guys know how to get across without hook shot, long shot, or hovers.
Right, yeah, I think all the uses for hovers are possible in other ways, but...
Yeah. There's double defense.
It looked different. It did not, but...
Okay, let's try this again, except with Jabu, except I won't clear it up this time. What will Jabu contain? Bet now.
I'm getting my bow bet in. The well didn't pay off, but...
For a minute there, I thought I saw light arrows as a bet, and I was like, wait, was someone not paying attention to this?
Quite a few for bet hammers and Jabu.
I did say hammer earlier, I've since changed my mind.
I know I'm not the first one to say it, but I've got to stick with my all dungeons bet.
Understandable. I'll close off betting in, let's say, 5 minutes.
Urugla thinks we'll find Russo in Jabu.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Seems like a safe bet.
I feel that's the easy way to win that.
I feel like I'm not gonna let them win that unless there's no correct answers. Actually, yeah, no. If there's no correct answers, I'll give it to Ruto because that's I'll give it to that.
Technically right.
I mean, I could have bet sadness and misery, and I would have still won. So
I like Jabu.
Disagree.
Maybe not Stone Jabu way the
like
hero,
Jabu?
but
And
like
Kayzo
Jabu
picks
in
up
the
his hook
dungeon?
shot, he will be a happy boy.
okay. I like Jabu more than I like Forest or Shadow. Let's put it that way.
you like Jabu more than Shadow? What's wrong with you, man?
Shadow is the worst place to go to.
I
because
think I prefer Jabu over Shadow.
Oh man,
Shadow is so linear, and like
you're both criminally wrong.
even
That
when it's
said-
barren, you have to do everything because of the keys and.
That said, to watch, I prefer watching people in Shadow.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
it's linear and, yeah, it's better to watch. And watching people in Jabu is just a bit... It all looks the same and it can get a bit confusing.
I do agree that Forest is terrible. I hate, Forest is my least favorite temple in the entire game.
Forest has the same problem as Shadow for me, where it's just so linear, and you still have to do all of it, even when it's barren or when you're in go mode.
My issue isn't the linearity, it's more the fact that it's literally just a sequence of block pushing.
So I'm gonna
Sorry.
I'm gonna throw
on.
out the unpopular opinion and say I kind of actually like Jabu. Like as shit as it is for checks, I like how min-maxy it can be, like with movement and everything. And like there's a lot of small tricks as well as the boss fight being like really entertaining to like to complete really fast. On the other hand, I think my least favorite now is Forest. Just because of a lot of it just being very slow. Whereas like at least Shadow, even though it's linear, like at least there's a lot of variety to the temple, and although it's annoying to do, there's a lot of tricks to that as well, so yeah.
That's fair. I think Forest and Shadow are definitely close in my mind. I think the thing that swings it is that goddamn boat ride. Having to wait for that at the end is just mind-numbing.
You've got a bunch of skeletons to kill on the way, you know, just to spice things up.
I will say, for the longest time, my favourite trick, like, as small as it is, my favourite trick in the entire game was standing at the back of that boat and watching the skeletons jump to their death.
I like
That is quite satisfying.
the recent trick that I saw, I think it was Duke pull off, is that you can sort of hang off the back edge and the second Stalfos won't even spawn. Alright, we're finally going to see some progression. We've got Engineer with his hook shot. I'm not quite sure where he's going yet, but...
Bolero.
I would imagine Bolero.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Will he use his bomb shoes to complete Dodongo's cavern, do you think?
Probably?
I guess it depends what song this unlocks.
Ooh. Never mind. Only has 3.
I mean, you can finish it with 3, you'd just be skipping a check and that would feel pretty bad.
Yeah. I feel like at that point it might not be worth it.
No, I think you wait. I don't think you want to go into Dodongo and not get everything. Leaving that one check is going to feel real bad. So he's probably going to go Death Mount Crater. He knows it's Way of the Hero. He'll get the song, which at this rate is probably Zelda's Lullaby, maybe Epona's song.
Right,
has
we know
to be something like that.
the song is 100% vital at this point, right?
Yeah, if the song is Prelude, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I don't know where Zelda Lullaby and Epona's song could be otherwise.
Yeah, I feel like this has to be Zelda's Lullaby.
I mean, there's a remote chance that it's Prelude and that they find the long shot somewhere and they have to go across the desert to get a logical song, but...
Can you get across the bridge with the long shot?
Yeah, you've got Epona's or you've got the long shot to get across to Gerudo Fortress. They're the two logical ways to get across. So let's see. There's a reasonable chance this is decent. Could still be garbage.
ZL opens up, what, 2 more song checks?
Yeah. It's Sunsong!
Oh my god.
What?
Wow.
Well, that's a curveball.
And remember, DMC Way of the Hero. Is there something in the Sunsong grave, and when does he check it?
There very well could be.
I'm lost.
Oh, the
I'm actually lost.
Engineer with the with the shield
palpable
dropped there.
frustration. He's gonna have a wee look in fire though.
So it's gotta be long shot for ZL in the desert?
I think it has to be. His spirit is protecting the forest medallion.
So let's see, they've not done. We know what the Ocarina of Time is. We haven't seen the Sun Song check. We haven't seen the Prelude check.
Okay. We have a key. So it looks like Engineer is going to delve further into fire with the one key he has. Remember, there's no bomb bag, so access is logically, you know, if there is any advance through the rest of this dungeon, it is going to be out of logic.
Kayzo having to kill some time outside the Pyro Castle here.
So 2 of our song checks are locked by ZL and 2 of them are locked by Spirit Temple. Like, remaining 5.
And Spirit Temple is probably locked by ZL.
So it almost has to be ZL in the desert at this point.
Yeah, it looks like ZL in the desert makes the most sense.
Which means long shot has to be somewhere accessible.
Yeah, I'd imagine long shot is going to be. Well, we've got the hook shot, so they can get into forest. So maybe Forest Temple is going to have something to go on here. Now, like I said a minute ago, this is now out of logic for Fire Temple. So, I mean, this might be a key. It might be hammer locked. Alright. It's a key.
Interesting.
So, that, in my mind, that says that bomb bag is required for Fire Temple. Maybe not the hammer, but the bomb bag definitely.
Yeah.
And he's going to keep going. I'm surprised he's going fire, I'll be honest. I know he was here and sort of in the area, but in my head, I think forest is maybe the better check right now.
I like checking forest for 2 big reasons, right? If you check forest before fire, there's a higher chance that you find magic beforehand, so you can set a Flora's Wind point and fire.
I think the deciding factor is that fire is a medallion and forest is a stone.
True, but
So he's maybe just given himself some time to think as well.
But the problem is, like, when you come into fire with only bomb chews, you know that it's automatically out of logic. If you're 2 checks in, that's it. That's all you can do in logic.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Forest Temple, you've got Song of Time, so you can go into the courtyard. You can do sort of the loop of checks there. You've got Iron Boots, so you can go down. Well, you know, you can check essentially everything in Forest up to potentially being locked.
And you've got to assume, given how many checks they cleared getting to this point, you've got to assume that the hook shot locks your bomb bag.
Yeah, the hook shot, I mean, has to lock essentially everything now, because
Well,
there's nothing else to check.
So going out of logic feels really odd to me when there are some reasonably good in-logic options available. On the flip side to all of that, Redead Grave?
Yeah, I mean, you've just got Sunsong knowing DMC's Way of the Hero. Problem is you don't have Bolero, so warping straight there and having to come all the way back to fire, that would feel a little bad, so I can understand the fire dip before going to do that. It wouldn't surprise me if he went straight to the Sunsong grave after his fire dip. I think he is now locked out of fire by the bow.
1 key. Oh, wait, yeah, you're right.
So he's going to pick up this last item, but he is now bow locked. Unless this happens to be the bow, which would be incredible.
I was going to say, if this isn't even a small key...
But no, it can't, even then...
Okay.
No, it is a small key.
Had to be either a small key or the boss key, right?
Yeah, well, like the hammer.
Oh no, hammer locks. Yeah,
the hammer is probably locked the entire thing. So fire is very locked by multiple items there.
This has been something so far.
Yeah, it's quite painful. This isn't it's not the best seed I've ever seen.
So we haven't seen 20. Oh.
Yeah, he's off to the graveyard.
Right.
He's off to the graveyard. He's only got one shoe.
Changed his mind.
Let's check the Sun Song. You know, we do know DMC, Way of the Hero. You can go check the Sun Song. If that's nothing, maybe you come back and check the boulder. Oh no, he's... Nope.
I thought we all missed something there for a second.
I have to say, that is something that I am 100% like, I will do that almost every seed where I don't get ZL.
Yeah. Forest is the play here, I think. If this is nothing, then you absolutely go to Forest.
Yeah, like, I can definitely respect getting that song, because of how vital songs are going to be, and because of the Way of the Hero.
And there's the long
shot! Oh, wow.
So we called it! There is going to be a very important song on the Requiem check.
Yep.
This is so linear!
Goodness gracious, so do you go straight there? I think you do.
What else do you do? Water Temple maybe, but that's barren, so you're just hunting down the boss key.
Yeah, you go straight there.
Go to the bottom of the field, yeah.
Can't even check, can't check Shoot the Sun, he's got no bow.
This has to be field and not Water Temple.
Oh no, I can't imagine he's doing it. I mean, he hasn't found the iron boots yet, and I doubt he's going to want to waste any time in there. Yeah, it's completely barren, so it would just be... He can sort of leave that. So he's going to go straight to the desert. I guess you might dip GTG. You can get a few things.
So Kayzo, on the other hand, when Kayzo gets the long shot, might actually do Water Temple, because Kayzo has finished DC.
Yeah,
so
he does have the iron boot.
Check.
Again, he does know that it's barren, so I mean, you can just, at that point, you just get out of the way, I think.
Right, it opens a single check in
the
light arrows, and you need to do it at some point.
But there is a very small chance that something is locked behind the bow.
Sure, yeah.
It's remote, you know, there is only one check, but it's a possibility that he can't actually finish Water Temple right now, so...
I guess they also have no way of opening the bottom door, right? No fire, no magic, and no bow for the bottom door.
Oh, of course, yeah, it's a couple of checks behind the bow, I forget, yeah.
No ZL as well. Okay, yeah, that's a valid point.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. I always forget about ZL when I consider doing the Water Temple until I get there, and I'm like, oh, time to... Oh, wait.
It's just one of those things, like, you take it for granted that you have it because it's so early so often.
Okay, let's see if he dips GTG. I think he almost certainly checks the the rooftop chest and Gerudo Fortress before he goes anywhere.
He does have a Scarecrow Scott song, though.
Yeah, if you've got long shot, you can literally just long shot over to the chest anyway. So.
Okay.
I was gonna say, how much do you do here? Do you just rush straight to Spirit, or do you dip into GTG?
So, because of the limited checks you can do in GTG, I'd almost be inclined to do it. You can get, what, 2 checks. So, you're not wasting too much time by dipping GTG, even if it's nothing. You can get like you get the one Stalfos room, you go through to the Wolfos, and just get those 2 checks maybe. Of course, he also has silvers, which I forgot. So yeah, you can do a lot more than just the 2 checks.
I think there'd be a lot of toing coming back and forth if you didn't dip into GTG. Because obviously we know Requiem isn't in its vanilla location.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Huh, I didn't know you could long shot from that bit. Things you learn.
Well, yeah, that seems quicker.
Just a recovery heart. The seed is toying with our hearts as we go.
Kayzo's checking this boulder, but the song was the way the hero in the Death Mountain crater.
Yeah, it absolutely was, but you still. Oh my goodness!
There's a hammer!
The hammer in the boulder.
Full clear your way of the hero.
Moral of the story, girls and boys: always clear your way of the heroes.
That is massive. Wow.
So Kayzo now has suddenly lots of options.
Yeah, Kayzo can now potentially, and it might still be bow locked, but Kayzo can potentially finish Fire Temple whilst he's here.
I do think he used his last 2 opening Grotto.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the hammer actually locks here. It could just be straight up the boss key.
Right, Kayzo's hoping for a boss key
Or
and
the,
then just
or the bomb bag.
quick jump over. So that hammer was locked behind a bomb bag.
Yeah.
But so far, Engineer is in logic, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
So
think he's out of logic at all.
There is every chance that Engineer, through all of this, finds a bomb bag somewhere deep in spirit, and Kayzo's jumped pretty close up. Like I think it's fair to say that Engineer was ahead up until that point. Now it's a lot tighter.
Yeah, just in terms of raw checks, Engineer was definitely ahead, but this hammer, this changes things, because, when is Engineer going to go back to Death Mountain Crater? But then at the same time, when is Kayzo going to go to the Sunsong Grave? Now that he's found the hammer in Death Mountain Crater, is he actually going to follow up on the Sunsong soon? I dare say he will.
But it might not be quite the sort of clear indication that it was for Engineer that that's where he needed to go next.
What other options does he have at this point? Even with the hammer, clears fire and then has what? Forest?
Well, you can then open, every single bomb check that you haven't done, you can then go and do. So that opens up a few things. You've got I'm not sure how much of the Lost Wood grottos they did. They've got a few things around.
Kayzo did quite a number of them because he had that 10 chew pack.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the majority of them went, was the Lost Wood checks.
Can't do any of the fairies. Because there's no... Yeah, there's the boss key!
Oh,
there's the boss key, so he's absolutely going to finish Fire Temple, and this, if there's nothing further in Deep Fire, this might really push him ahead if Engineer doesn't find bombs soon. Chat rightly pointing out that boss key was vanilla. How interesting. So this is the big divergence point in this race so far.
Yeah.
Largely just been sort of different routes, but checking the same things, but... Now
okay.
Big point
That made, I was watching what Kayzo was doing. I was like, is Kayzo not going to do the kind of out of logic jump over to Volvagia? But no. 8 hearts, going in with 3 1/4. Grab a fairy on the way. Makes perfect sense.
So,
Now, the benefit of Kayzo finding the boss key is that, again, like we say, he can't actually do too much with the hammer, so the chances of him checking that Sunsong Grotto is going to be pretty high after this.
Yeah. I mean, it's that forest or deep fire, right?
I mean, he's got no more chews, so...
I think it has to be forest.
In my head, you quickly check the Sunsong Grave before you do forest.
You got Nocturne as well, like,
Yeah,
there's...
you've got Nocturne, you quickly do a warp there, check it, and then go to forest if needs be.
Kayzo did find a small key in the Flare Dancer room, right?
Yes, he's got 2 small keys right now, so he can advance further through the temple if he wants to.
But
I don't think he will.
Still be bow locked at the end of it all, unless Volvagia drops a key.
Yes, I think you're right, actually. Because he can't actually check that door on the right-hand side with bomb chews because he doesn't have any left. So he will miss 1 key, so he needs to find 1 bonus key off Volvagia at the minute.
Can you hookshot Volvagia?
Yep, yeah, you can get a couple
I
of
know
shots.
you can shoot arrows. I didn't know.
Pretty much anything you can shoot arrows at, you can hookshot for the sort of same value.
I think it's slightly harder to aim because the hook shot's obviously slightly slower.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I know I've had a lot of nightmares trying to hit Bongo Bongo.
Did Engineer save before this room? I'm curious as to whether he's going to scum that chew.
I don't believe he did.
Oh, he must have done.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's his last chew. He's going to hold on to that for dear life. Alright, let's see what the middle of GTG has for us. He's found nothing so far.
I guess that 1 chew isn't as important right now because I assume Engineer's going to buy more on the way through the wasteland.
Yeah, well, if he... I'd absolutely do that at this stage.
Wait, do you need hovers to get to that?
Well, he's got a long shot.
Oh, okay, that's the thing.
So you can jump across there, and with a jump slash, I think you can just make it
Okay.
to the magic carpet.
You can tell how often I've been to that. So.
I've never ever been there. Even now, I've never ever bought any bomb chews off that dude. I didn't know he existed until I started watching Rando.
Oh, I used to do seeds with bomb chews in Logic, and I've had a fair few that required me to go to him first. But I didn't finish those.
Still no able to use them, but...
Nope. We can get all the way to the central chest. But so far, nothing.
Right, we've got all
we
of
know the toilet is dead.
Oh, nothing in GTG.
So we've got all of the magic spells, and between the 2 of them, all of the elemental arrows. But no bow and no magic.
Yes, that is correct. Kayzo finishing off Volvagia, and that actually puts him 2 medallions ahead of Engineer at the moment, having cleared Dodongo's Cavern and Fire out of Logic.
Okay, Engineer gonna head across to what we can only assume is going to be Zelda's Lullaby.
Oh, Kayzo.
Oh, Kayzo's going back into the Fire Temple.
Oh, no.
Not sure how I feel about that.
Deep fire. I mean, so Volvagia did not drop a key, so we are going to be locked by the bow. Like, that still hasn't changed.
Yeah, he's going to be in the exact same situation that Engineer got into. Man, the logic, the Kayzo logic right now is very, very, very far wide. Flare Dancer did have a key, but Engineer had one chew to get the right-hand side of this room, whereas Kayzo doesn't. So they are essentially in the same key situation as they would have been. If he had a bomb chew, he would be one key further ahead, and would have helped him progress. I think logic, I think Engineer is actually doing the right thing here in terms of he's almost certainly going to find progression here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, this is going to unlock this. I think this has to be Zelda's Lullaby at this stage.
I think it has to be.
Yeah, well, it's either it has to be Zelda's Lullaby, or Zelda's Lullaby has to not be logically required for Spirit Temple, and then one of the checks behind that.
Very small chance that he doesn't need Zelda's Lullaby for this, but it is possible. I've been in a seed before where you don't need Zelda's Lullaby for Spirit at all, and that was the logical way of doing things. Didn't quite see what was on top of the arch there.
I think it was a heart piece, but
still checking hints. I'm surprised they don't have all the information by now. Yeah, it looked like a heart piece, you're right.
I think Engineer didn't get the ones from around Lake Hylia.
No.
So, may not have all of those hints.
Alright, Sheik, let's do this. It's Zelda's Lullaby.
Yeah.
As we suspected. Now, without a bow, and without any chews, he can't actually do any more of Spirit. Oh, no, he's got the long shot to activate it. Never mind, I'm talking nonsense. You can activate that switch of the long shot. I lost my mind a bit there.
Chat pointing out that he didn't buy the chews. Yeah.
Nope.
That is,
And I doubt, unless you find the bow here, I doubt you're going to walk backwards through the wasteland.
bow or magic, right? Something that opens up a check on the way.
Yeah. I'd be very... oh man, if this is magic, then they're going to have to dip into shadow, and that's going to feel bad. Okay, what have we got? Are we looking at...
This is the moment.
Are we looking at required Ocarina of Time? There's a key!
We have a key!
So, unless the boss key is on child's side, we're
not even going to know.
We might get away with not needing Ocarina.
Kayzo has come out of fire and he has followed the Sun Song to the Redead Grave and he's picked up his long shot.
Okay, good stuff.
So we're not going to know if the boss key is locked behind all dungeons or if it's locked behind magic.
Yeah, I mean, even if we find it in sort of upper spirit, we still don't really know. The logic is that confusing. It's oh, there's a letter.
Opens up that way of the hero. I swear if that's for the boomerang.
Kayzo's choosing to do water here, which is not a bad play.
I don't disagree with this at all, no. Like, you have to do it at some point, you've got everything for it.
He doesn't have Zelda's Lullaby, so he's really banking on getting that early boss key.
He
Still doesn't have CL.
Yeah, there is a chance.
I was going to say the bow is minor, I think, but... I
mean, don't get me wrong, if Zelda's Lullaby isn't required for Water Temple, then there's nothing wrong with this, but it's a gamble.
Yeah, I think...
It's not a terrible time loss. That's just a blue pea.
I guess magic would be the other big thing. If Kayzo had magic here, then you could just set it for his win point and go.
Lens for engineer there. Almost a paperweight these days.
Of course, we still need to find magic. to complete the seed as well.
Yep. Despite we now have literally every single magic item in the game.
I think there was a comment in chat earlier where I said something about finding something like Din's Fire in Jabu, and the response was, "Don't worry, your magic will be the way of the hero item." And it's
looking pretty likely.
It's looking like it could be that way, yeah.
I don't think there was an indication about the treasure game in the hints yet.
Yeah, no such.
Okay, no luck for Kayzo there. Finding a small key, but choosing to bail. But bailing out to the lake, so it's more than likely he's now off to GTG.
I think so. I think he'll follow Engineer towards the desert.
I can't imagine where else you would go at this point. You've got to have a pretty good idea that ZL is on Requiem.
Yeah, finding that long shot's pretty much made up his mind for him. Like, right, okay, my songs suck. Let's go get one.
I didn't actually see, but did Engineer save before? Or will Engineer save before all of this, I guess?
He's not going to need to scum any chews, so I don't think...
The key, though.
Yeah, I guess you've got the key. It's
Okay.
just saved right now, so
Yeah.
he is going to scum one key. I'm surprised he's going this way. Because if you go the mirror side, then you can just long shot across, and you don't have to waste that key anyway, right?
Yeah.
Because he's got
check.
he had the one key to get across to the other Iron Knuckle. I don't know why he would have gone that way.
Oh, no explosives.
Oh.
Can't beat the BMOS.
Yeah, that's true. He does have a chew, though. And like we say, he can go and buy some more with 200 rupees, so... I guess it's sort of neither here nor there in terms of the way he does that.
God, voiding out in this room now would be the worst feeling in the world.
Okay, Kakairi sword there for Kayzo. Something which Engineer's not going to have because he didn't have the hammer coming across the GTG.
Am I right in thinking that if Engineer finds a bomb bag, then he will be back into logic? No, sorry, Kayzo finds a bomb bag, he will be back into logic.
Yeah, all Kayzo needs is a bomb bag, and then everything he's done then makes sense. Because the hammer, basically the only thing that he's done wrong, well, quote unquote wrong in terms of, oh, there's the bow for Engineer! That is a great find. So, Spirit had both Ruto's letter and the bow.
Oh.
So that is, that's Forest in play if he chooses to do so. He can now go through the rest of Fire if he wants to. Of course, we know that the hammer is just outside.
Yeah. I'm really baffled by Engineer not buying the chews, and I've got to, like, if you're in Engineer's position right now, you've got to be hoping for magic or the mirror shield, I guess.
Yeah, this is as chat is pointing out, this is now out of logic for Spirit Temple. And to be fair, you can pretty much take one step in the Spirit Temple to be out of logic because it's just so confusing.
Oh no!
Oh, he's chose to risk the void out here.
I guess he save quit before coming here, so he could always just reset and be at the start of Spirit before this anyway.
Yeah, he's playing it safe.
Very safe, yeah.
Very safe. I don't blame him.
This is the slowest I've ever seen anyone take this room, and I don't blame him one bit.
Oh wow.
Okay, a few checks coming up here. Let's see if Spirit is even more stacked than we thought. Mirror Shield right now would be a phenomenal find. There's the boss key.
Boss key.
Okay.
So it's very likely that Ocarina of Time isn't going to be needed technically. It might still be logically required.
Right.
Technically it might not be.
So here's the terrifying question then. After all of this, you found Rusho's letter and you found the bow. Do you go into Jabu? Or do you go somewhere like Forest? Because Jabu's way of the hero, but there's a pretty reasonable chance that logically it's all dungeons.
In my head, you go and check the one Jabu check. He's got Favor's Wind. So you go through, you deliver the letter, you do the one check, you set Favor's Wind, and then you go back.
Doesn't have magic though.
Oh, of course! My God, the magic.
I still think you default to your way of the hero first and foremost.
I think you have to. I don't think there's any move you make here that feels good.
I still think you do it first because even if you don't find anything in Jabu, you've still then opened up the ice cavern.
Right, yeah.
So that if you do forest afterwards and it's nothing, then you can go to ice cavern and pray to God that something's there.
I don't think I've ever seen nut strats for Wolfos, but that is really clean.
Yeah,
well, there's 4 crowding you in like that.
That's a nice trap.
Oh, the second ice trap we've seen.
Okay, and Engineer is out of checks. He's off to do water by the looks of it. He's got Zelda's Lullaby.
That makes sense.
Doesn't have the iron boots.
Oh wait.
Wait,
no, he
was just leaving.
He walked to the lake to save quit. Fair enough.
Okay, sure.
Got to warp somewhere, I guess, and it's technically it is only 5 notes. So in terms of speed strat, it's the fastest song to play.
Yeah, I guess that's faster than save quitting twice. Yeah, sure. So looks like he's just, I assume, rushing Jabu here.
Yeah, he's booking it. Something chat mentioned just a second ago was checking the Composer Grave song first. And it looks like he's going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, what song are you hoping for, though?
I think at this point, it doesn't really matter. Like, I think in terms of just convenience, you'd probably hope for Prelude.
I guess Bolero or Epona's maybe.
Nice pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point it is literally like... Epona's song is the only thing that can actually lock something behind it. So if it's Epona's, fine, you take it, because it could be horseback archery, it could be... Well, they can't be pose anymore, because they found one, but horseback archery could be required. But otherwise, it's just literally your pick on what is the most optimal warp song at this point.
Yeah, we've had a couple of people asking in chat about what happened with this seed or where the bottleneck was. They had a hookshot on 10 skulls, which they checked at a point where there were maybe 3 checks remaining that they could do. The hookshot opened up the Sun Song from the Bolero check,
yeah.
and then the Re-Dead Grave led to the long shot, which suddenly opened up everything. And just in the middle of all that, Kayzo found a hammer from a bomb-locked location that he used Choose for.
Yeah, sort of the big difference here is that Engineer used his Choose in a slightly different way and is not quite being as successful, whereas Kayzo got lucky. You know, he did get lucky, by finding the hammer with one of his shoes, and he also managed to clear the rest of Dodongo's cavern.
Like, Kayzo started off very aggressively using shoes as well, so...
Very aggressively.
The second pack in the well really made a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yeah, Engineer doing a really good job with the flame storage there, but did not quite pay off.
Okay, he's absolutely going to deliver the letter, it seems.
You gotta hope that first check is something. Way of the hero location, but...
Yeah, I think if you're going to deliver the letter, you do that first check.
So I'm just gonna pose another question to both of you now. If you're playing this seed and you're in this position and you go to Jabu and you open the boomerang in the first chest, do you finish Jabu?
Is that
That's a tough
question?
That's a tough one.
I
think you do.
Yeah, that's an easy.
And more importantly, then, do you rush all dungeons?
I don't think
No.
You have to clear out Jabu because it's Way of the Hero, right? You don't want to miss any items. So, I feel like it's just required at that point to just finish off Jabu. It's a statement to say that you always full clear Way of the Heroes just in case you miss something.
I feel like if you're engineer and you find the boss key already in the Spirit Temple, then you don't rush all dungeons.
Yeah. I mean, I'd finish Jabu, but I certainly wouldn't rush the rest of the stones. I'd get the Way of the Hero checks done for Jabu, and then think, right, what are my options? Is there anything left that, you know, because Engineer's still got Fire Temple. He's got more checks now with Zelda's Lullaby. He's got the bow. So
yeah,
maybe a few more Overworld checks. Go and do archery and CAC, because CAC is Way of the Hero, remember, and whilst they have found a hook shop, there's still, you know, you still have things to check there.
Yeah, I think in this situation, clearing Jabu would be right. I think it might be a different story if they had the magic for Aurora's Wind. But
yeah, you don't want to come back here. If this is the boomerang, you just get it done, get it over with, accept the time loss if it is nothing and doesn't lead to anything. Because in the back of their minds, they've got to be thinking, is Ocarina of Time required because of dumb spirit logic, or is it just hard required? So, just getting this done while you're here makes sense.
Yeah, there's always that risk of those 2 checks being absolutely vital. I guess at this point it's 3 checks, right? 4 checks. Because they haven't had a way to access they don't have magic. And if second magic is locked behind first, and first magic is locked on a fire check and spirit.
Engineer's stream has died a little bit, it seems.
Yeah.
Stuttering slightly.
I just talked without unmuting my mic. I'll swap over audio to Kayzo while that fixes itself then.
Fine.
We'll never see what this one check is.
It's got a whole basement to go through. Might get back in time. Meanwhile, Kayzo going over to Spirit, kind of following the tracks that Engineer's already done, but...
Oh, he voided out.
Just to clarify, he has not said anything about having any issues, so yeah. So yeah, he's back already, so all good.
I'm gonna refresh my page.
Yeah. I also, yeah, people talking about lensless. People talking about lensless Wasteland, and yes, I spent a whole evening learning lensless Wasteland. Like, I went out of my way to specifically learn it one night, and every setup I tried seems so inconsistent. I don't like doing it with a set. I just, in the end, there's the practice ROM in the resources on the Discord, and I just downloaded that, checked the collisions, and figured out my own route based entirely on visual cues because none of the setups were consistent enough.
That's fair. I follow Kayzo's route. Match the flagpoles, do a quick shield turn, and then run it. But he's struggling a bit here. There's a big time loss.
Yeah.
And it is perfectly in logic. This is required in terms of logic.
I mean, the lens was in
Well, yeah, the lens
the
is
Spirit Temple.
So,
I've got to say, doing this at night is way harder with visual cues.
yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter too much for lensless because you just follow a set path, but you probably wanted to turn it to daytime anyway. He's got Sun Song. Note how he has now walked past the Bombchu salesman 3 times. Really determined to not pick those up. Just seeds, so nothing on the boomerang chest.
Still no bomb bag, so can't go and check that fairy either.
Nope.
Zora's Fountain is barren regardless, so
Oh,
I ain't gonna
true.
want to check
Fair
that
point.
one.
Fair point. Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh, Kayzo.
Oh.
I was going to say, failing this 3 times is definitely costing a lot more than Engineer lost earlier with the 3 shooting galleries or whatever it was.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Yes.
So my personal best time on Zelda Rando includes a 20-minute segment of me learning Lensless Wasteland for the first time on stream. And I'm really ashamed of myself to have that as a personal best.
So I would imagine that engineers may be going to head to forest now.
I guess.
Maybe
Yeah.
He might go back to fire.
With the bow, yeah.
Now got the bow, so he knows he's potentially. I mean, he might still be locked out with the hammer, but he might choose to do that, or he might choose to go to Ice Cavern, or finish off GTG. You know, he could go back to GTG and finish it off with the bow, but that would I don't think that's the right play there. Oh man, this is some tough viewing for Kayzo here.
Oh. Death Mountain Crater.
He's off back to
That's
fire.
not-
Oh, that's not good.
Oh,
He's
wait.
no choose.
Forest. This is the fastest way to Forest Temple.
Ah,
Yes,
yes, he
yes.
doesn't have Minuet, so he's not choosing to do fire.
I know why when I was saying about the setups earlier, the reason I hate setups for all of this is that things like the side hops become so difficult when you're sinking into the sand.
Yeah, like you've got to get a very consistent sort of like pressing of the buttons, otherwise your side hops aren't the same each time, and it can become. He's got it now. He's got it now. I think.
It's looking good.
There we go. 5th time's the charm. There's a bit of frustration there with swinging the sword, but he's made it. Worth a quick mention, not that I'm trying to drive anyone away from the channel, but the second race of the evening has just started on Zelda Speedruns, so if you want to watch them both simultaneously, feel free to do so. Another hype match on the way. And there's the Zelda's Lullaby for Kayzo. Not failing that one 5 times, thankfully. Just the once.
So, obviously Engineer wants to find either the Mirror Shield or, I guess, maybe the Boomerang in Forest. Kayzo wants to find something on the Light Arrow check, right? That's got to be your hope at this point, is that that has something.
I mean, you're grasping at straws regardless, I think, in this seed. It's been that much of a monster.
I'm just curious to see where Kayzo goes next, I guess, because we saw Engineer go straight to Jabu, and I do think that makes sense, given the way of a hero.
I think Kayzo finishes off water. He's already started it.
Yeah.
He's clearly determined to finish it, so I think he's going to go and do water. He's got the bow. He's no longer locked out of it. He does, you know, there is still one wall that is bomb locked. So
Sure, yeah.
I guess it depends on whether he wants to do that. So I don't think you can open up that wall with a hammer.
I don't think you can, though.
Of course, Engineer hasn't finished off the Dongos, so he's...
Right.
He still can't do it, mind you, because he doesn't have a bomb bag.
But like, with Kayzo specifically, I'm thinking, you do this and then you probably clear water. You go back, you open up Jabu, just the same as Engineer did. And then, we said with Engineer you had this choice of Deep Fire, Forest Temple, Ice Cavern. This could be the first big divergence. Like, it's been a very linear seed so far. That could be the first big turning point that kind of really skews things.
I think the fact that Engineer is doing Forest as it is, if he doesn't find anything here and Kayzo avoids Forest, is massive. I think that's going to be a really big deal. And chat pointing out that if something is on 20 skulls as well, that would be ridiculous.
Very possible. Very, very possible,
It's
yeah.
likely. I think Kayzo might be influenced by the fact that he has got the hammer. So when he picks up the bow here, he might be more comfortable to go back into fire, although he has finished it.
Yeah, I'm really curious as to whether he wants to do it as he already has the medallion. It's like, do you really want to dip any more of fire?
This is the thing, the letter was like the first chest in Spirit, so that is in logic. So I feel like you've got to, if you're in Kayzo's position where you know you're out of logic, you know you haven't got the bomb bag, if you want the bomb bag, you go to Ice Cavern.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually be opposed to checking the Ice Cavern at this point. I know it's a big risk, but hey, it's brackets, you know, you got to take risks. I think Ice is probably going to be required to some degree, unless something is in Forest right now.
I think the decision between Forest and Ice, it's quite an equal choice, so
Yeah.
it really comes down to preference.
Oh!
Oh, Mirror
Alright,
Shield in
then.
Forest.
That is big.
That's big.
Very big.
Okay, so I'd still give the lead to Kayzo here, but if he doesn't do Forest and chooses to do other things,
Oh
Engineer's
my god.
got a big jump.
Does Jabu have first logical bomb bag or first logical magic?
Both. Why not?
It's got to be one of those two, right?
It doesn't strictly have to be one of those two. It could still be the hover boots.
Oh, true, yeah, we haven't got hovers. Yeah, fair.
But yeah, it's very, very likely that it is one of those two things. But is bombs, you know, are bombs even required? If they're managing to, if they're struggling
right.
with their way through this seed with just bomb chews, if they happen to find another set of 10,
Engineer has in fact not picked up his 10 from Anju as a child. So he does
That's true.
have that other 10 pack kicking around that he doesn't
Wait, really?
know about, but they are there.
Engineer is also not finishing off Forest. He's going straight back to Spirit by the looks of it.
I thought Engineer did do the choose, but
I think
Okay.
only one of
Yeah.
them did Cuckoos in the end.
huh. Just in chat, Jabu, Way of the Hero cannot be for a tunic, unfortunately. We have found both tunics.
As
Fairly early, isn't it?
trolly as that would be.
Yeah, Zora Tunic was Mido's house, and Goron Tunic was quite early as well.
If Jabu had the first logical bomb bag, that would be horrible.
I mean, at this point, Jabu having anything is disgusting. This seed has been pretty bad, and just knowing that something is in Jabu as a stone dungeon, and that sort of trolly Ocarina of Time, all dungeons bait.
I did a multi-world last night with some people, and my first bomb bag was 5.5 hours in the well, Way of the Hero.
Goodness.
My only logical bomb bag was in the well at 5.5 hours, so yeah. Late bomb bags are a nightmare.
Yeah. I had a deep fire logical bomb bag the other day, and that was pretty gross.
I think I had, in Multi-World, I think I had a loaded shadow where all of people, everyone's progression items that they were locked behind for like an hour or two, they were all in my shadow. And I only got shadow access like 4 hours in, so it was an interesting seed.
So Kayzo will grab Bolero here.
Interesting going in as a adult, opting not to flame storage that check.
Yeah, he just wants the song by the looks of it.
Maybe hoping that it's the Ponas.
I mean, I guess if your next play is always going to be an adult play anyway, then it saves you some time if you assume that one check is pretty worthless. The question is Kayzo's next play going to be as adult? And it's looking like yes.
Yeah, I'd imagine it is. Engineer is opted to go back to GTG.
And Kayzo looks like he's heading to Forest Temple.
Yep, could well be heading to Forest.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, he's going to check the Crater Ferry. Very sensible.
Okay, yeah, makes perfect sense. Clear your way of the heroes.
Yeah, we'll see if he goes to fire after this, or whether he does choose the forest. Curious as to whether GTG will actually end up having anything, or whether it's just a massive time sink for nothing.
Is it just the 4 bow checks that we've not seen?
Yeah, well, we've seen everything that wasn't locked under the bow, and we know the toilet's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So we've even been all the way to the central chest, so I think this is the last check. Other than the scarecrow, obviously in this room.
Yeah.
₹50. I believe the last thing is an item because he's got both the keys, so let's see. I think he's struggling with. Looks like he's struggling with some PC issues as we as we go through. So anyone that's hearing the Windows sounds, it is coming from Engineer's PC by the looks of his stream. And nothing in GTG. Completely dead.
And Kayzo got nothing on the Summit Ferry, so...
Now where's he going? He's going back as child.
I would
Turning
imagine
that
Jabu.
letter.
Yeah, he's turning in the letter.
Is Engineer going to go pick up some chews?
Well, seeing as how many times he's walked past the damn thing, I'd be surprised if either of them picked up chews at this stage.
Has got the mirror shield, so... It could just be going back to Spirit and clearing it, but...
I think he might just be going to get his medallion at this point.
For his sake, you've got to hope he picks up the chews.
I'd be surprised. I'd honestly be surprised if he did, because
Oh, no.
why not get them earlier? No, he's not buying any chews. Really, a bizarre decision. He can't even get through the BMOS room without any chews, and I think he's gone.
Did Engineer do the BMOS room earlier? Either way, can't get through the moving the mirrors. Can't blow up the wall in there.
Nope. No, you're right.
Oh,
So
no.
he's really going to regret this.
Yeah.
If he manages to find a bomb bag, then he's the luckiest runner.
I'm gonna definitely have to ask both of them about their chew situation.
Yeah, I've written that down in big letters. Why on earth? They've both had 200 rupees this entire time.
Yeah. And Kayzo was very aggressive with chews early, while Engineer has needed them for a long time, so...
Very clean lensless way stand by Engineer for the second time there, so credit where it's due. Kayzo probably lost, what, 5 minutes just on that? Maybe a bit
Good
more?
chunk of time.
Yeah, definitely.
Someone in chat was pointing out that no one's done the slingshot target in the woods yet, I don't think.
No, they haven't, because they got slingshot pretty much the same time as they went to get the hook shot. Okay, Kayzo is going to do the first check in Jabu here.
I don't like these colours together. Link's tunic does not look good in Jabu there.
Did they check the center chest as child with the sticks?
Wait, in
Spirit?
They can't get to Spirit as a child yet.
Of course, no. So they haven't done that because you can do that. You can do that really bizarre setup with the Armos, where you can jump on the Armos. If you push it to the very top of the stairs, you can jump on it and shoot arrows through the torch, which is incredibly crazy as a setup, but it does work.
It does.
Terrible though.
I think that setup would make up for the time that Kayzo lost trying to
Yeah.
get through the desert.
And we are moments away from Engineer face palming.
Chat just going over some of the checks that we've still not seen. So we've got Dancing Garudia, the target in the woods, the rest of Spirit, the rest of Forest, the rest of Fire. We've still got 20 skulls.
Is he the luckiest man alive? Nope,
Is that it?
that's a recovery heart. And where's the face palm?
Oh, spinning bubbles.
There it is!
Oh no.
There's the...
Oh.
Oh dear.
Oh, the pain is real.
Oh, he is not happy. That is a lot of wasted time.
And deadly
Jeez.
nuts.
I'm surprised he's going to Death Mountain Crater and like maybe he must think he can't get to the carpet salesman without hovers.
Yeah,
Because
Possibly.
otherwise you save quit out and you reverse Wasteland back to the carpet salesman and then void out to go back to Spirit.
Yeah, they must. That's the only thing in my head that they're thinking. Oh, you can't get there without hovers. You can. You can just you just jump slash, and you can make it across.
That's Forest?
Yeah, looks like it. Well, this could be forest or it could be ice. No, it's forest. He's going back to forest.
We've not had
Oh.
any child Goron city checks yet either, have we?
No, well,
Bag makes that.
yeah, we've just got Zelda's Lullaby, so Technically, Darunia dancing and the spinning pot is in logic, because you can do it with strength.
On a related note to having just got Zelda's Lullaby, there is also the rest of the well.
Yeah, there is.
Very true. And we saw Kakiri's sword somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, although that's not in logic for brackets, the Kakiri sword for dead hand. So, again, another paperweight.
Got a lot of those with this magicless run at the moment.
Alright, slingshot minigame, what we got?
Target in the woods.
Piece of heart. Good lord, this seed.
Speaking of Child Goron Sissy.
Yep, he's here. Let's see what old Darunia has. I mean...
Do you have any chews left?
I don't think we have any chews left anywhere.
Right, I was going to say, because then...
No, I don't think he does at all.
Because if Kayzo's just waiting on that mirror shield, that is big.
Yeah, I mean, with what? We need... Essentially, Kayzo needs 2 explosives. He doesn't even need bombs, he literally needs 2 explosives. One for potentially in the water temple, one for the top of spirit. And there's the boomerang!
Oh, wow, okay.
Oh, Kayzo is so in the lead.
So if this is
goodness.
hovers, Kayzo feels terrible. If this is magic...
I think this almost has to be bomb bags.
Or bombs,
bag.
yeah.
Yeah. So if Kayzo doesn't avoid forest like the absolute plague, then he's doing really well here. I think it's only a matter of time before he would dip that anyway, and it's not very far in.
It is absolutely crazy to think that a long shot access to the wasteland to get Zelda's Lullaby, to do Dancing Darunia, to get the boomerang to go to Jabu could be the first logical bomb bag.
My goodness, I mean... it's bad enough that we're 2 hours 15 in without... I mean, and both runners don't have any explosives. Fresh out of chews. No Dodongo stomachs in sight.
Oh, with Ruto's letter in spirit as well, right? I did forget that part. Yeah, cool. Just to add to that little bit of extra barrier.
This is a borderline herd of bronies plando, this one.
A terrifying experience that I'm sure none of those runners want to repeat. So
No. You just asked 10th Doctor about how he feels about that one. Okay. Maybe this is completely stacked. Maybe this has magic and bombs, and then Kayzo is in essentially... Well, we're in no mode. And he's just a mirror shield away from finishing.
I think it has to be. I don't think the seed can get any crueler. I think it's got to start giving us stuff now.
Well, so I mean, this could genuinely be hover boots, and it would be really depressing if it was.
if this is just hovers, that is...
Because we still don't have magic.
The magic could be in top of forest, so
Could be
we could
top
have
of fire.
we could have Kayzo finding hovers for all dungeons, but engineer with what is going to be the more reasonable sort of way of the hero, because we know we don't actually need well, we think we know we don't need Requiem. The chances of needing it are absolutely minute.
Yeah, there's no way you play for that at this point. Absolutely not.
There's the bomb bag.
Bomb bag.
Oh my...
Wow, what a first bomb bag.
Unbelievable.
I think you have to keep going.
Out.
Yeah. Without Forest Wind with Way of a Hero. Jabu doesn't take that long anyway.
Yeah, whilst he's still missing Magic and Mirror Shield, you absolutely get this finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just looking for that magic now. It's been a while since we've had a race to magic in a seed. Remember
It's one of those
the...
things that you always forget that you need it.
Yeah, like...
Especially when Shadow's not required.
It's amazing how many times, like, I'll be sitting there watching a race and I'll be like, oh, they're in go mode, and then I'll be like, oh, no, they don't have magic. It's just like, it's just one of those things we just overlook every time. Now, if Engineer finds magic in Forest, that would be really interesting, because I'm not sure how deep Kayzo would go into Forest if you were to dip it.
Mirror Shield.
If Kayzo finds a Mirror Shield, he's probably leaving.
Yeah, he's leaving and finishing Spirit before he carries on any more of Forest, that's for sure.
I can just see it happening where, you know, Engineer finds magic deep in Forest, Kayzo gets the Mirror Shield and leaves, and then the second magic is on Twin Rover.
Yeah. Engineer really needs to start getting some medallions though, and those explosives are a massive crux to him.
Mm. Still collecting those skulls as well.
Still collecting skulls. I swear he's on 20 by now. No, he's only on 17. Fair enough.
I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? You grab them while you're next to them anyway, and...
Oh yeah, 100%. You get to 20 and in any way you can in this seed.
I imagine we had quite a few people guessing that bombs were in Jabu.
Yeah, I have no idea who won that bet, and Void has vanished, so
Oh yeah, okay.
people won. I don't know who,
Soon.
I don't know how many, but people won a bet.
Everyone's a winner.
Except the two guys running this seed.
Yes.
I mean, from their perspective, you've got to be thinking, at least it can't get much worse.
Yeah, that is true.
Famous last words.
Yeah. I mean, Kayzo's been hoping for Frogs 2 the entire time, so from at least from Kayzo's perspective, surely it can't get much worse. If Frogs is better...
Well, I think the big question here is, what does Kayzo do? Because he's got bombs, and if that's all he finds, then strictly he still can't do anything. Like, he can go into water and know he can finish that off, of course. But he knows he's not going to find any items there. So he'll probably do that, get the medallion at least, get out of the way.
Yeah, I feel like checking Child Goron City is not... If you, I guess, how do you route that in, though?
Did he leave after... Yeah, of course he left after.
Ooh! Engineer just got bomb chews.
He found some chews!
Oh, that's interesting.
And suddenly we have a race again.
Deep fire, way the hero. Sorry, deep fire, deep forest, way the hero. Goodness, this seed has been explosive shy, that's for sure. But they haven't helped themselves. You know, they've both had very big chances to go and get some explosives and just haven't, which has been quite surprising.
Much to your chagrin.
Oh, that's a nice way of killing that Skulltula.
Yeah, I've never seen that one. Oh, one of... Barry? I can never remember which jellyfish is which.
I think the wee ones are berries.
Right, they have names?
Yes, I was looking up the ghost names in Forest earlier as well.
Oh, they're named after Little Women, isn't it? It's like the
Oh, is that
book.
what it is?
Yeah. Amy, what is it? Amy, Beth, Meg, and Joe?
Joelle.
Yeah.
Oh, Kayzo getting hit there. Gonna
Nearly
miss
a-
the cycle. Oh, no, just got it. Just got it.
Oh, no sticks. Didn't even notice that part.
He does have a sword though.
Thankfully,
Yeah.
he's got the Kakari sword. A little less efficient, but it'll do. Oh, no
job done.
sticks. Just only got explosives. No pot strats, though. The real swag.
I can't remember who it was in one of the previous races, but somebody had sticks and
Is that
really?
World gauntlets. I think Toxic Oxygen was making a bit of a lol about finding Strength 3 in Jabu, and there we go.
Oh no!
Now, you 100% go to Ganon's Castle Fairy.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt.
100%.
You.
Immediately. Yeah.
Oh my.
But first, you hand in your 20 skulls.
Does he have 20?
I think he would have...
Would have had 19 by the end of.
Yeah, he got most of the way there. He might manage to find... I mean, he could play the Sung Song in the graveyard here and get the 20th one.
Yeah.
Unsure, he might be... Well, actually, I have no idea what he's doing.
I think he was on 19 skulls.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I know he was on 18 after the 2 before Big Octo,
And then he did.
and the 1 in the room before Baronade, right?
Yeah, he did the smooth one through the wall.
Oh, this is just the fastest way back to the temple, right? Okay. So not turning in, not getting that.
Ah, you go to the lake.
Catch the Owl Express.
Yeah. I mean, I can appreciate this. Like, I don't mind. I don't know if the time difference is that big, but
I mean, this is
You
way
get the
slow.
skull
This
way-
is way slower.
you get the skull on the way through, if nothing else.
That's a questionable route back to Hyrule Castle when you've got Serenade.
Has he just forgotten he's got Serenade?
Maybe he thought he had the 20 skulls and then realised actually after
Yep.
he'd already.
Yeah, maybe.
Possibility. I'm very surprised he didn't just use the Sun Song in the graveyard though, because you can get that quick
Yes.
skull right there and hand in 20.
Yeah.
Inefficient. But maybe he's panicking a little bit, you know, it's not been the nicest of seed. None of them can feel ahead right now with that early start.
And he's only missing
Oh,
right.
absolutely.
Kayzo though is only missing magic.
Yeah,
Cannot-
Magic and Mirror Shield right
Mirror
now for
Shield.
Kayzo.
and Mirror Shield. Sorry, yeah. So there are only so many places that can even end up at this point. If magic is on the Ganon Fairy, we could be in for a pretty rough time there.
I would be very surprised if he didn't go to Forest very soon. He's gonna
Again,
go.
Forest or Ice Cavern.
I think he's gonna go check the Ganon's Castle Fairy. Probably get the Sculpture outside there as well.
Yeah.
Rack that up to 20. Go hand that in, and then I'd be quite surprised.
Then you clear water, surely.
Ah,
Just get it out of the way while you can.
I guess
you
you
need to
could
do
get
it
out-
eventually.
yeah, you can get out of the way, but again, it's just like,
It's a check. It's a single check from the light arrow cutscene.
yeah, it does. Yeah, you're right. It does. Oh my
Oh,
god!
oh,
Magic on
wow.
Ganon, Ganon? Are you serious? Oh man, that is a big
Wow.
boost. That is a big boost to Engineer. Oh my word.
He also
That-
picked up the 20
it's
pack
20.
there. So you'd hope that he's
Going
going to clear
back
out
to
the
the
rest of Death
crater.
Mountain Crater, because that's where he's going to find his hammer.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he didn't go and check that right now. And there he goes. He's off.
Wow. Yeah.
Unless he's going somewhere else. I think he 100%
This-
checks this.
This is a very tight race now.
Oh man, that is drastically changed. Oh my god!
Oh
the
no!
bait!
Oh no, Kayzo!
It's a bait! It's a bait!
Oh no, Kayzo!
Where's he going now? He's right. He's off to do water. He's off to do water.
This seed is horrible.
Oh, this is disgusting.
Yeah, well, Kayzo cannot get baited unless he finds magic somewhere else before the mirror shield.
Look, all I'm saying is my friend rolled this, not me.
Your friend should be disqualified from ever rolling seeds ever again. This has been
Okay,
utterly disgusting.
look, I'll get a new friend next time, okay?
Get the 1 to
for your
3
fifth
friends
choice.
instead of the 4.
Yeah, just for chat's sake, we are 100% sure this is bait because other than the mirror shield and magic, Kayzo is good to go, so he has absolutely no reason to dip shadow.
And off to forest.
Going to forest though, by the looks of things.
Did engineer just...
He's got his hammer, and I'm not quite sure. I think he's
Okay.
going to hand in his skulls.
He did
Maybe.
get the hammer.
Oh no, he's off to finish the Dongos. I forget he hasn't finished that off.
Yeah, no, sorry,
Wait, what's Kayzo doing?
Kayzo, no.
Where's he going?
Kayzo, no.
Is
What?
back child?
What? On Earth?
Maybe he's doing bomb tube bowling? But why did he even go that route? I don't know what he's doing right now.
Chat's suggesting bottom of the well. Finishing up bottom of the well.
Oh, surely you don't do bottom of the well at
Do you
this
mean
stage.
Serenade?
Where the hell is he going?
What's he doing?
So, confession time. Now that you guys mentioned bottom of the well, I guess I should go back and announce the winners for the Jabu bet.
Oh yeah, we did see the end of Jabu.
So, yeah, did we see any bombs? Hang on.
It
We
was a
did.
bomb
The bomb bag was the first time we saw. and there
No,
was
I
string
mean in the
3.
bets. I don't think I see any bombs.
Alright.
No one was
No one bet bomb bag?
No,
Really?
no, I found one.
Wow!
I found one. It was really far down. Here we go. There we go. There's the winner. Sorry guys for it being late. I blame the commentators.
Where the hell is Kayzo going?
What on earth are we seeing? Beans? Why?
Maybe he didn't do Frogs 1, did he?
But why would you go all the way back here for Frogs 1?
I don't know.
This seems like a really weird one-off check to go and do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost certainly what he is going to do, but
You do it while you're here, but
why the hell would you do that now?
I don't understand.
This is a very bizarre thing to go and check.
To be fair, I can see it. Like, it might have been something that was at the back of his mind this entire time, thinking, "Oh no, engineer might have the advantage on me because I didn't do this check when I came round." So it might have just been bugging him this entire time and came to just check it.
But you've just found the bomb bag.
I cannot
You've
agree.
just found progression. Why on earth would you then be like, "Oh, let's go and check Frogs 1"?
I'm forgetting the term of the word. Like doubting yourself, something similar to that. I've forgotten the word for it, but yeah.
I get the idea. Like you're second guessing everything.
There we
and-
go. Second guessing, just second guessing himself.
And like, if it's something that's been nagging at you for a while that you've not checked, then you might want to go back and but you go back and check it when it's a convenient time to go back and check it. You don't
Yeah, like
go from he was heading towards forest.
Yeah, it genuinely looked like he was off to forest and was like,
Yeah.
actually no, I've got a better idea. Let's go check that one check that I need to do, which is going to take me 5 minutes. Because he's
Unless
lost
he
a
has
lot
other-
of time.
Unless he has other child checks to.
Skull
to do
Kid,
here now.
but
No, we know Skull Kid's dead. He's off back to Goron City.
did Kayzo do Skull Kid as in?
He hasn't done the spinning pot yet.
No, he hasn't done Spinning Pot, he hasn't done Hot Rod, because obviously this is his first time with a bomb bag back here.
Oh, he left after getting the
Oh,
Boomerang.
this is bizarre.
That's gotta be something that has just been nagging at the back of the mind. Like
He's just got to come back and clear up these couple of child checks before
didn't
he
do
gets to Stone Forest.
right. Did Dancing Darunia and then left and didn't do these 2 checks while here and.
Questionable call, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. Like, once you've left, like, you kind of feel bad about having left, but you cut your losses and you stay and just blitz as much as...
I think that he made the effort to warp back, to change back into child, makes it very strange.
Yeah.
I just think, like, maybe in his
but...
head, he's like, right, I've just found bombs. What is locked behind bombs? And so I don't necessarily have an issue with the checks here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, let's go and check everything that's locked behind bombs. He's probably going to do bomb tube bowling quite quickly after this to see if there's anything there. It's just the fact that he went to do Frogs 1 is just so out of the way for me.
Well, it's also the fact that he was so close to the Forest Temple and all of the checks that brings, and, like, having to go back to Child and then going so far out of the way to get to Frogs and do all of this is like... I guess if it pays off, right, it's so far out the way that it's gonna work wonders, but...
Yeah, we are being critical knowing exactly where he should go, of course, so...
Yes, yeah.
Now
you can check his 20 spells.
Yeah. Or you could dive straight into the Composer Grave and do the Flame Storage.
Oh my...
Very interesting sequence of checks.
This feels even worse, because this can only be the second magic, right? I guess if it's the Mirror Shield, or
yeah, it could
second
be
magic, but...
Could be either of those, it's just... Wait, no, yeah, I was gonna say...
It can't be first magic, though, because it's locked behind magic.
Oh, that magic is such a boost for Engineer.
It really is. It really, really is.
I think he's got... Is he? Oh, he's just got the Flame Storage there. Of course, we know that this is dead.
Engineer does still have quite a lot to do. Like, even at this point, if Kayzo now goes to check 20 skulls, cleans up a bunch of child checks, and then goes adult to forest, there is still a decent chance that Kayzo could win this.
Yeah, the boomerang is massive because it's not somewhere convenient, you know? Darunia is not a convenient check, no matter where you are.
The fact that it was only for the bomb bag, though, or unless somehow, well, the hovers can't be needed, right? We know it's just for the bomb bag.
Full on 20 skulls.
Yeah.
I mean, Engineer is... He's essentially in go mode.
Yeah.
Pretty much. He's just got a fire temple to do. That,
And he's got his hammer now, so he knows... You know, he's already dipped it once.
Yeah, he was very, very fortunate that he found those bomb chews in forest, because those bomb chews have put him in go mode.
Yeah, pretty much.
So he doesn't actually need to follow this. In fact, if anything, he now knows exactly what's in Jabu.
Engineer nailing that jump first time.
Always nice when you get that. I struggle a lot to get that jump without the hover boots. So yeah, Kayzo is definitely now no longer ahead, not even close with Engineer being in go mode. So I think this is now his race to lose.
It really is, yeah. This has been so back and forth for what started off as quite a linear seed. It's been... I think the bombs have really made it a lot closer than it would have been otherwise.
Yeah. And like I say, Engineer is very, very fortunate to have found those bomb chews. Home to bowling is nothing. We still don't know where that second magic is. Knowing Ocarina of Time Rando and its magic placements, it's almost certainly going to be in the Shadow Temple.
Oh, absolutely.
There is still a chance that it's just somewhere else convenient, and that would really put him back into this.
Yeah, that is Kayzo's big out right now, is the option of finding that second magic. But he still has to make the play to go into Forest.
Still needs to find his mirror shield.
Yeah.
I don't think the Forest play is too far away. You know, if you think about where else is actually left to check, I think you'd rather do Forest than somewhere like Ice. You're not going to go back to GTD for a few checks. So I really think that Forest would be a very quick call. But no such luck on the Castle Fairy there.
I mean, the only saving grace... Yeah, I guess the only saving grace we've got so far is that the magic that we know about is behind the Mirror Shield. The question then becomes, if you get the Mirror Shield, do you leave Forest and go to Spirit?
Oh yeah, I think you do.
I think you
and
would.
that's,
I think, yeah. I agree, and unfortunately that is not going to pay off for Kayzo here.
Where's he going? Potentially, I still think he should have done water before he done any of this. You get that light arrow cutscene done.
Yeah,
you know, it is one of those things which very well could have been the way to go. I don't know why you would have not done that.
I've definitely had that check matter a lot before. I did a bingo race with someone, randomizer bingo race, and they marked the silver scale fairly early, and hours later I was still looking for it, and then I got the second one on the light arrow cutscene. So sometimes it can just be the winning play. It can just get you that one thing you need, but back off to Forest.
Thanks. Or fire.
Or fire.
No.
Oh,
no.
No, what's he doing?
Oh,
Oh, dearie me.
So here's the question, right? Is this Kayzo assuming that he's behind and trying to go for a gamble?
I think it has to be. Like, some of the
think-
weird checks he's just
Yeah.
made.
I think he's found the bomb bag really late and not realised how difficult it was to get there.
Yeah, I guess, but it was locked behind a ZL in the desert, and... Yeah. And Ruto's letter in Spirit, so...
This is, yeah, it's a very interesting call, this one. Technically, he was locked out of here with both the bow and bombs.
Yeah. But I mean, how many checks are even left?
I'm not sure. I can't actually remember how many items they found from fire. I think it was maybe 2.
That sounds right.
So we've got one... You know, I can't remember how far he went in, so I can't figure it out with the keys.
I mean, in fairness to them both, the logic in this seed has been a bit crazy, especially for Kayzo, who has tried to follow it. You know, obviously he got the hammer out of logic, but he has tried to follow it as best he can, so he's not strictly doing anything wrong.
And chat pointing out that if he finds the other magic, he's going to assume that the second bomb bag is available somewhere, follow the way of the hero, gold gauntlets to hovers,
Yeah,
go straight to Shadow.
That might suck.
Which, to be fair, logically, might still be way of the hero anyway, because of all dungeons logic, but...
I don't think hovers can be logically required for fire, because the hammer and the bow have already been found. Although I guess when Volvagia didn't have a key, so I guess it's technically possible, but obviously we know it's not the case here. I think he's just remembered that he didn't check that side room.
Oh? I was going to say, that looked like an intentional jump, but...
he's off.
Go back to Kakariko.
Oh?
Where's he going?
Finish water first.
Okay. Yeah,
Just
see,
have
this
to
is sensible.
Yes.
Shooting the sun. Okay. I guess you do that beforehand.
Yeah, if you've got Sun Song, why not?
I definitely want to see Kayzo go and finish water here. Like, that light arrow check could just end up... Like, if the light arrow check, obviously we know it's not, but if it had ended up being the mirror shield, putting it off for this long would feel terrible once you get it.
Oh my god. Just a heart piece. Not upgrade for engineer, so he's looks like the boss key is all the way on the river chest.
Yeesh.
Don't think he checked the dragon chest either, so
I think I hate checking the dragon more than I hate checking the river.
see, I normally check the dragon before the river. Just because if it is there, it saves you a lot of time. Of course, it can be a horrible detour, but I personally prefer to check the dragon chest first.
Yeah, I think the way I tend to do it is that, like, I assume it's always going to be in the last place I check, and so I play to clear as many of the chests in one go as I can. So I tend to like leaving a dragon for the very end, but
it is the dragon chest.
It is a dragon, yeah.
Nothing like full clearing a barren water temple. I don't know why he's struggling so hard with that one. He's got boots, but he's showing his swag and non-boot strats anyway.
I was going to say, that's not a setup I've seen, but it's also not a setup that was especially required, so...
Yeah, that's the setup you do if when you're trying to do Water Temple without iron boots. It's one of the sort of convenient setups for getting into that room without the iron boots. Of course, if you mess it up, then you're completely buggered. But there are ways into that room without going from that way. Alright, he's going to finish that off. Now, can you imagine if Light Arrow cutscene is magic?
Oh, like...
Goodness, what a race we would have.
I can't tell if that would be the best thing or the worst thing, though, because you know Kayzo will go to Shadow. Oh, going for the spin there to kill these shell blades. No magic, so... It's not quite as good a spin.
I think if Kayzo was to find magic before he went to Forest, it would be the worst possible thing to happen.
Yeah, I think if Kayzo finds magic at this point, which it sounds really kind of contradictory to say it, but if Kayzo finds one of his two go mode items here, I think he loses.
Yeah. His engineer's going water here.
And
Here,
then
Spirit Neck.
Yeah.
He knows he now has the explosive finish spirit.
Yeah, it's very hard to see a world in which Kayzo wins this anymore, which is very unfortunate. He was ahead for a good while, but Forest Temple play from Engineer really put him ahead. It's just unfortunate that Jabu was required, but also not to a degree, because of just explosives, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of talk to them afterwards and see how they understood the logic with all of it, because I have to feel like at this point it definitely seems like Kayzo's been kind of baited in by that way of the hero, and the fact that the gold gauntlets led to the hovers is just painful.
I mean, that's just disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting.
And like the only way I think Kayzo now has a chance of somehow winning this, barring something really kind of extraordinary, is if Kayzo finds magic and then still goes to forest before shadow. And I just don't see that happening.
Would like to find out afterward where Magic 2 might be. Hopefully Void can enlighten us.
I mean, I have to assume it's locked behind magic.
Sorry? What do you need me to enlighten about?
Oh no, nothing yet. Just saying, after the seed is done, I'd quite like to know where Magic 2 is.
Oh yeah, sure, that can be
if we don't
arranged.
happen to find it. Because I don't think we will. I think Engineer is going to finish this seed before Kayzo manages to dig out where it might be.
That is an intriguing point in chat. If Kayzo went into forest and found the mirror shield and then left, he only actually needs magic for the light arrows. So
yeah, I mean,
the second one is in Ganon's castle.
That's a fair point. I mean, Kayzo can rush Spirit. But problem is that the boss key is literally here for fire. And all Engineer needs to do is get to the top of Spirit and beat Twin Rover, so it would take... He would have to be exceptionally lucky, I think, to win this, if he was to find the mirrors straight away and clear a Spirit. Because he's still got a good few minutes of the Water Temple left.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised that Engineer went to fire before Spirit. Offhand, he was already at Lake Hylia, which is going to be the fastest way to get to the desert. But
yeah, I guess it's just no Requiem. You know, it's just that place is just gonna take a while to get to. And when you've got all the items, it really doesn't it doesn't matter. Because you'll be boss rushing them anyway.
yeah.
Well, he can't do quick Volvagia. Unless he's an absolute pro with these bomb shoes.
I was going to say he only needs one for Spirit, right?
Yep, just needs one.
You can use up a couple of them here at least.
I think you need 7 overall.
You can 2-cycle and replace some of the bomb shoes with arrows, right?
Well, if you're using bomb strats, you tend to not ever need to shoot him with arrows.
It does look like it's going to use a couple of shoes.
Can you imagine if he accidentally wasted all of his chews?
Oh, that's
8,
don't tempt fate.
9. I don't know how many of those hit, but that was 9, right?
There we go.
Yeah.
9 chews. So unless he has an absolute blunderbuss of an effort and spirit, he should be okay. If anything, that strat with bomb chews is probably quicker than using bombs.
I was going to say it has to be 9 though, right? Because I think the hammer hit that stuns Volvagia actually does do damage. So
I don't know on the damage to Volvagia, to be honest.
So I think where you normally stun her twice, that is 2 damage there. So the 2 extra chews I think were needed for that.
We're going to have yet another long walk across the desert to get Spirit.
Nothing worse than having to go to Spirit without Requiem. It just feels dreadful.
Or Epona. Even Epona would have been
Yeah.
nice.
Definitely feeling like a plan though. Yeah, it's like...
I mean, that's another thing we have to consider. Even if Kayzo did manage to catch up, his lensless wasteland has not been accurate.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
That's very fair. So do we think it was the engineer's play to Forest that gave him such an advantage?
Oh, well, I think the bomb chews in Forest were massive. Like, I've never seen a seed so sort of determined on the the result has been strictly determined by finding bomb chews. That's it. Because if he hadn't have had those, we've clearly seen he's walked past bomb chews in the past.
Yeah.
And if you don't have those, you have to follow the Jabu way of the hero stuff.
Right, and no idea how long it would have taken Engineer to find that boomerang.
So yeah, I honestly think Engineer won that because he's found bomb chews.
So part of it is finding everything in Forest, including the bomb chews, like Mirror Shield, bomb chews, and magic.
Yeah, going all the way to Phantom Ganon was massive.
Like, I mean, apart from the questionable child cleanup,
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure where Kayzo went wrong. You know, he did sort of follow the seed.
I think that is just it. I think it was that one child moment. And obviously a part of that is kind of results based, right? We knew everything was in Forest and Kayzo was on the way to Forest and then went, no, I'm going to go child, and left.
Yeah.
But yeah, that child...
The rest of the decisions that he's made haven't necessarily been bad decisions.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's not done much wrong. Like I say, the big difference is the fact that Kayzo went Jabu. You know, we spent a little bit of time searching for the boomerang to go Jabu, and Engineer went Forest, and that is all that's really drove this, you know? Kayzo had a good lead early on. He found the hammer, which was a massive find.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just a shame that the decision was the wrong one. It's just, you can't blame him for making it. It wasn't a bad call, it was just the wrong call, and there's nothing worse than sort of that, if you know what I mean.
I guess it actually just worked out really nicely for Engineer at that point, because he knew he needed bombs, and he knew Jabu was way the hero, but didn't have the boomerang, and just opted to do Forest before ever going to Child Goron City.
Yeah, I think...
And that meant... Yeah.
Go on, Yoshi.
I was just going to say, well, that meant that he got Go Mode from Forest, got the chews, and never needed to follow that way of the hero, never needed to find the boomerang, never needed to do Jabu.
Yeah.
You take away any one of those items, and suddenly Engineer's on a hunt for the boomerang.
Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, if Engineer would have gone to Darunia, he would have also done Jabu, you know? He would have absolutely followed that route. But he didn't, you know?
Yeah.
That's all it was. If he would have found the boomerang, he would have followed it, but he didn't. Instead, he found magic and he found bomb shoes, and that's all he needed.
More for escaping from Kayzo.
I said this the last time I was on commentary, and I'm going to say it again. Morpher is the worst feeling boss in the game, because there are all these jokes about how easy Morpher is, and where you just trap Morpher in the corner and it's like whatever, and it's impossible to have a good Morpher fight, because a good Morpher is kind of the standard at this point, so you can only ever have bad Morphers.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think especially in this sort of this race setting. I can imagine the execution is not as good as it would be.
Well, when it's my execution we're talking about, it's never as good as it should be.
I definitely feel that we've seen Kayzo be affected by sort of nerves slightly more.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they both have to a degree. I mean, hell, we saw Engineer not realise he needed bombs until he got all the way to the top of Spirit. So they're clearly very nervous,
Very true.
not quite thinking, you know, a bit on edge.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how much of that would be nerves and how much of that is just kind of those assumptions that you make, right? I can't remember which one of them it was earlier, but we did have somebody who just assumed they had ZL and then...
Yeah, I think that was Kayzo.
And like there are kind of 4 items that I tend to always assume you have in rando because you'll generally get them so early that if you're over like 2 hours, I'm going to assume you've got a bomb bag, the hook shot, Zelda's Lullaby, and strength 1.
Yeah.
And so I can completely understand getting to that point of being like, wait, I still don't have bombs. How do I not have bombs?
Well, on the plus side for Kayzo, he's going to forest by the looks of things. It's a big shame he's not going to get to Spirit on time. If he was a couple of minutes ahead right now, we'd probably be sort of in tandem.
Yeah.
So he's going to find. I think he's going to find the mirror shield. He's going to leave, attempt to do Spirit. Obviously, he's going to succeed, and then pray to Christ that there's a magic in Ganon's castle.
Like, I don't want to dwell on this too much, but it has been the turning point of everything so far, so I have to bring it up again. When Kayzo went from Darunia with the boomerang, went and finished Jabu, and then went adult, did a couple of checks, and then started going towards forest before going back to child. If Kayzo had, instead of going adult and then going child again, done the child cleanup after finishing Jabu and then just gone adult, just those couple of minutes in between of going child to adult to child without prelude might have made all the difference.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Certainly would have made it a lot closer at this point.
Well, if you think about it, he'd be exactly where Engineer is right now, just without magic. Because there's no way he finishes off Forest Temple if he finds the Mirror Shield. In my eyes, he's gonna go straight
I think
to
Engineer
Spirit.
went much deeper into Spirit than Kayzo did.
Yeah, I don't think Kayzo ever went anywhere near the top of Spirit.
I think he does leave without the mirror shield, so then I guess the still would have been behind and still would have been kind of locked.
Oh yeah, still behind, but then it's, you know, the ultimate gamble of does Ganon's castle hold the second magic? And I think at that point that's what you play for. You go into Ganon's castle, you search those trials for the love of God, hope that you find a magic in the light trial.
Yeah. I mean, the real heartbreaker here would be if Twin Rover had it at this point, right?
That would suck.
It's definitely been an interesting seat.
It's been very harsh.
It's yeah, this is the kind of seed that, like, to put it simply, I'm glad I'm not playing this. But from a spectator standpoint, it's been fantastic.
I would have quit this scene so fast. I would have got that first hour in, found the hook shot on 10 skulls, and be like, fine, cool, I'm 40 minutes behind already.
Dangan Rompa's living up to his name in chat and saying that Twin Rover's got an ice trap double magic for Engineer.
That one will be a little less heartbreaking for Kayzo, I guess.
Nice one cycle, by the way, from Engineer there on Twin Rover without Big Ron's sword. Difficult to get. Not even looking at what the item is.
We're not even going to find out.
We might never know. I mean, I checked that. If that's bigger on sword, I pick that up.
Yeah, actually, I have at least. Yeah, now that you mention it, that's.
I don't think that's what Engineer's thinking about at this moment in time.
No, Engineer's thinking, oh my god, I'm so far behind, and there's the mirror shield for Kayzo, and he's warping straight there. Oh, no, he's
gone.
He's not warping out of there. Ironically, warping out. would have been the best decision knowing what we know, but...
This one is so close, though. Yeah, now do you warp?
Looks like it. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
Off to the lake. Oh, nope.
No?
No, he's sticking around, which is surprising. I mean, Christ, in the long run it's the right call, but it's very surprising he's not leaving.
I guess, how many checks are opened in Spirit at this point by getting the Mirror Shield?
3.
And
he can finish it.
yeah, I guess the big thing is Ganon's castle, right? I guess yeah. In practice, it's a lot more than 3 because it's the entirety of Ganon's castle.
Ganon's castle, and in my head, there's no way on earth you do any more forest here. You leave. If you need to search for magic afterwards, so be it. But I think you leave. But doesn't matter. Engineer is in Ganon's castle. He's on the Lizalfos, my least favorite enemy in the game after Blue Keys.
Oh, I have a long list of least favorites. Shell blades.
I think it was the Lizalfos and Dodongo's cavern was the bane of my childhood.
I used to love those. I love the sound they made.
I just like to know when the Lizalfos became slightly more sort of punk rock Lizalfos and made their GTG appearance with their spikes and their studs.
Is that the Dinalfos, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which in Majora's Mask breathe fire. Like, they got upgraded hard.
I mean, at least something got upgraded in Majora's Mask.
Ooh.
Considering they use the same character models literally from every single thing in this entire game.
Engineer was going for the quick strats there with Master Sword. That was close call.
Yeah. I mean, Christ, he's only on 8 hearts. That is incredibly low to be on.
I mean, technically it's 16, because double defense.
Yeah, but not finding any more than 8 hearts in 3 hours is really rare.
I tell you what, after the seed, I'm very surprised that it's only just over 3 hours.
Yeah, this seed is
That's a fair point. Yeah.
This would have, to me, this would have been a 4.5 hour seed, no question about it.
I certainly feel like we've gone through a sort of 4.5 hour mill.
I like that from Kayzo there. It's such a small thing, but the pulling the block part way out, ground jumping up and hovering as opposed to pulling the block the entire way. It's a nice little, like, tiny time save.
Yeah, it's like, knowing you don't have to re-climb that, you can do that, but then if there's an instance where you're like, right, I'm going to have to go back up this room because I don't have hovers or I don't have Pharaoh's Wind or something like that, then you you just push it the entire way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because obviously it resets if you leave the room.
Wait.
Nice use of bottle strats there.
Did Kayzo already get that Floor Master room somehow?
Yeah, you can.
Did he do that one earlier?
I think you can use. Yeah, he used hover boots to get it earlier. Wait, no, it didn't.
Okay.
I'm not sure actually.
Apparently he did. Yeah, he did get it.
He might have done the recoil instead.
Yeah, I'm very used to seeing that after pushing the block, so it kind of caught me off guard that when you said like, yeah, if you don't have to climb up, and I'm like, wait a second, the Floor Master's a key. Meanwhile, Engineer had a very smooth.
He's had some really nice one cycles against the bosses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially without the Goron sword.
Okay, just a few minutes away now. We should see a nice, clean Ganon fight from Engineer here. No bigger on sword, so gonna whip out his hammer. No nut strats today. Kayzo still a little bit away from his magic, probably 7 or 8 minutes away. Perfectly clean first cycle.
So just to say, everyone, if you enjoyed this, make sure to give the runners a follow on their own channels. Both two great runners here, very close in the rankings, so this is always going to be a tight race, and certainly lived up to that one.
Yeah, sorry about the off-sync timers, that's just because of the delay. I believe Engineer's on like a minute delay, which is something I can't reduce, so yeah, you just see an early timer instead.
Spoilers, Engineer wins.
But yeah, if you aren't interested in listening to the interviews, because they both agreed to an interview, then feel free to hop over to ZSR1, give a hi to Shadow. If not, then feel free to stay around, because we'll be talking to Engineer and Kayzo in a second.
Fantastic. Get your GGs in chat. Well done to Engineer.
Well done.
Big thanks to our trackers today, Mama Sheepy and Blade Fang. Thank you very much for helping out with the tracking. We can't do this job without you. I dare say we will see the big F from Kayzo imminently.
Yeah.
When the stream catches up.
No. Actually, he's gonna forfeit in about 10 minutes from now because, yeah, he decided to continue through, see if he could finish it in time.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair.
So yeah, I'll swap it to interview anyways, but yeah. Hello, Kayzo.
Looks like he's muted. Hey, Kayzo.
Kayzo, hello.
Hey.
Sorry,
Hey,
Kayzo, my bad. I keep forgetting you even gave us the pronunciation.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've been calling you Kayzo the entire time, and now that he said Kayzo, we got it wrong. So I do apologise for that.
No problem, the two are good.
Yeah. So GG on the run. How do you feel about that? Obviously, you didn't get the win today, but that was one hell of a seed, wasn't it?
Oh, come on, the forest for the mirror shield and the magic, come on, man.
Oh.
Yeah, it was especially cruel. Like we were saying on commentary, you essentially followed the logic perfectly. You went to Jabu, made perfect sense. You got the explosives, and even then, the mirror shield being in forest wasn't that big a deal. It's just the magic on Phantom Ganon was just the real crux of the seed.
Yeah.
GG, y'all.
Hey, Engineer,
Engineer.
GG.
Congratulations.
G. That was a seed.
Yeah, what a
Yes,
scene.
it was.
Oh,
Is this?
Yeah,
I think this is worse than Fox 2. Sorry, for those of you.
Yeah.
For those of you who, we were talking about it in the IRC chat before the race, and they were both saying that they wanted a Fox 2 seed, and I don't think I delivered. I think I got worse.
Whatever friend rolled this seed for you should never roll seeds again. That was savage. I mean, it took an hour and 3 minutes before either of you found the hook shot. It was unbelievably dry for such a long time.
I think it was over 2 hours in before I had my third dungeon done. Before I had my third medallion.
Yeah, because that was actually
Ooh.
one of the big differences between the two of you on this seed was that it was the usage of the bomb chews. Now, Kayzo, Void, what have you done? I've been saying Kayzo this entire time. I said it once and I'm doing Kayzo. You used your chews a little bit more effectively. You managed to finish off the Dongo's Cavern, and more importantly, you found the hammer really early, which was a sort of a really, really big win for you. And it took Engineer a long time to go back and find that. And ironically, one of the things that I think determined the win here was that Engineer, you managed to find that stack of 20 bomb chews in forest, which really helped. Obviously, when you could go back to Spirit with your chews a second time running, because obviously you went there without chews the first time and got really upset when you got to the top.
The worst part about that is I could have bought bomb chews on the way from the sales collective.
Right, you both had a couple of opportunities.
We hadn't thought about that.
I could have done. I
commentary.
completely forgot about that, so that was completely my fault. I was so mad.
We were a little confused because we weren't sure if like you were both
Just
assuming
completely
that,
forgot you need explosives there.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, we were both
So my bad.
because we were both assuming that you thought maybe you needed hover boots to get to the salesman or something like that. But
Okay, question. Where was hover boots? Where was boomerang? And where was bomb bag? Where are these items?
Okay, the bomb bag was basically in Jabu, and you need to
Way
do,
the hero, right?
and you need to do Jabu to have strength 3 and to unlock the outside Ganon castle to have the hover boots.
The boomerang was on
Darunia.
Dancing Darunia.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
And then that let you proceed further into Jabu to get the bomb bag.
it was.
I missed all of those.
Jabu was a bait.
Yeah, that was honestly like the big divergence was the fact that Engineer, you went to forest. You went to forest. You found your mirror shield. You went back to Spirit, sort of double dipped, and then you went back to forest again to get magic in the end.
I was so mad, but
but obviously,
let's talk about that. The three go into Spirit on foot, no opponent or anything, 3 times.
yeah, it was pretty savage. And again, that second time when you turned up without the chews was was particularly saddening. And we were, I'll be honest, we were screaming at each other like, why aren't they getting bomb chews from the carpet salesman? You walked past you walked past it like 3 times each, and we were just baffled why you weren't picking those up because you had 200 rupees at the same time.
Absolutely right.
So I'm going to read this from the spoiler log because this was just released. Second magic was in Spirit Trial. And this was logically an all dungeon seed. You were supposed to grab the Ocarina of Time to get Requiem of Spirit.
Yeah, we kind of figured due to sort of like the key placement that the Ocarina was a big bait. And speaking of the logic, how did you guys sort of interpret the logic behind this seed? Because it was bizarre, wasn't it?
Well, I never found bomb bags, so that made logic very difficult to understand. Because I had no idea. Like, it could have been something silly like chickens, or something nasty like Jabu, which ended up being.
Yeah, I was telling me during the first 2 hours of the race, where is the bomb bag? Where have I missed it?
Like, we were saying, if that was the logical bomb bag in Jabu, then it was getting the long shot to cross the wasteland, to get Zelda's Lullaby and Ruto's letter, to go back to Darunia for the boomerang, to go into Jabu to get a bomb bag?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. Absolutely savage. And it was really again, those bomb chews just saved the day for you, for those being in a forest temple. It really was a massive find.
What about the bow too? Was there any other bows out there other than Spirit?
I think Kayzo, you found another bow. I think it was bomb tube bowling. I think had.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
No idea where the third one was, but yeah, bomb tube bowling had a second quiver. So locked behind the Jabu bomb bag, because the other bomb bags were in Shadow Temple and King Zora. Would you believe it?
No way.
Yeah, King Zora held a bomb bag.
I was going to Ice next after Forest if Forest didn't have anything.
Yeah, we did wonder if any of you, either of you, get baited by Ice, but I guess thankfully, well, I say thankfully, the song sucked. Let's face it, during this seed. But I guess by the time the Ice was in play, the songs had sort of settled down, and there only really was Minuet and Prelude to to look after. How did you both sort of feel when you got that Sun Song in Bolero, knowing just how bad the songs were for this seed?
I was convinced it was going to be ZL, so I was
Me too.
pretty confused when it wasn't.
Me too.
Sorry,
I
which
think I found
bows?
the wrong.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
which bows were found? In case you were wondering about the bows.
That we found the bomb tube bowling one,
And
obviously the one in the spirit.
Temple.
okay, last one was in the highest Goron chest.
Oof.
Ooh.
Oh, come on. Deep fire again.
Deep fire strikes again.
Yup.
Sorry, continue.
Oh, what was I going to say? I don't even remember my train of thought. That's okay.
There was
Oh,
just
yeah,
one thing. Oh, go on. Sorry.
I was going to say, because I found the Sun Song and it wasn't ZL, so that made... I'm like, okay, I guess we need... Like, we can't find a Pono, so we need Launch Shot to go to Spirit. That's the only logical way left. And my very next check was Launch Shot. So I'm like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, Sunshot, the Sun Song leading directly to the long shot. We did wonder if because that was the big difference is that Engineer, you went straight to the Sun Song grave and got long shot, whereas Kayzo still had a few chews, so managed to find the hammer straight away and dipped into fire. And you had fire done like immediately because you found the boss key, obviously a vanilla boss key, so you had fire done within a few minutes of finding that hammer, which is essentially what put you ahead for a long time. And it just just the big difference was just the choice of Forest to going back to Child and finding that boomerang, which is essentially unfortunate. It's just you followed the logic perfectly, but the logic was just really slow.
Yeah, it was just... I feel like I got lucky though.
So I do have to ask Kayzo, there was a point after you'd gone to Jabu,
Yeah?
and you then went adult and started going towards the Forest Temple, and then went back to Child and checked frogs?
Yeah. I was looking to my notes, and I saw Song of Storms was Way of the Hero, so... And I remember that check.
Yes,
Right.
because it was Kakariko was Way of the Hero, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
Storm, yeah.
yeah,
But it
but
was
Song of
also the
Storms
hook
was
shot.
there, but obviously the hook shot was on 10 skulls, so we were relatively convinced it was the hook shot in the end.
Oh, that makes sense.
And the well
Sonic
also
Storm
had
was
light arrows.
the well also had light arrows. Yeah.
Yeah, Well isn't under Kak Way of the Hero.
No, but it's Song of Storms.
Oh, of course. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
I was dipping into the wall with no ZL or no bombs or explosives. But
Yeah.
I was desperate at that point.
you both did. You both went into this, like you both had. I think Engineer specifically, you had 3 checks left in the entire game, and then found your hook shot. I think Kayzo, you may have had made like 4 or 5. It wasn't much more.
Wow.
But you both found the hook shot within a couple of minutes of each other. But even then, it was literally an hour and 3, 4, 5 minutes was when you both found that one progression item. It was crazy. But hey, at least we got a hint saying that Skull Mask was dead, right?
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
That was a nice hint to find.
Between the two of you, you
like
had
that.
all the hints in 25 minutes.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That was the other thing. The hints came so quickly, and then we had no items for such a long time.
I never found 2 of the useful hints, or like specific item hints.
What was it? It was
one was Shadow, one was Skull Mask, and there was 2 others.
the
The
toilet.
toilet-
Toilet was dead, and I think it was
the Forest Floor Master having a small key.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Neither one of them. That's good. How about that iron boots though? Because when I found the hammer, I was in go mode. That I could use gold scale to finish Water Temple. I figured iron boots were in Jabu Jabu. So I figured I wouldn't open any chests. I opened one chest because right along the way in case I needed rain. In case there was a boss key. So I was hoping to find the rain and end up finding iron boots with the one check I did. Like what?
Yeah, because like ironically, having all of those hints essentially killed all of the Iron Boot locations.
Pretty much.
Yeah, barring the central pillar, the hints in comparison
Yeah.
to Water Temple being barren was just like, well, Iron Boots are dead, and then obviously Kayzo, you found them quite early because you managed to finish off Dodongo's cavern with your bomb shoes. It's just like, well, there's absolutely no need for any of these because Zora's Fountain's dead, Water Temple is barren, got 3 hints for Iron Boots being completely unnecessary.
Both already had a gold scale by that point.
Yeah, completely, essentially a dead item.
Pretty much.
But yeah, it definitely helped with finishing off
You
the
go a
Water
little
Temple.
bit quicker.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, very good race, and I think other than a little bit of a struggle for you, Kayzo, with Lensless Wasteland, I think other than that, I think your execution was really good. And it was super close for I want to say 2.5 hours. It was super close, and then it's just a shame that one sort of split really drove the rest of the race.
So, looking forwards, spoilers for anyone in chat who wants to go back and watch the race. This is where I'm going to talk about the winners from the other ones. But what do you two think of your upcoming races then, your next opponents? Because I guess contrary to expectations, Engineer, you're going to now face Let's Clay, and Kayzo, you're going to be facing Duke.
Oh my god.
I mean, if anything told us, if we learned anything from Let's Go and Duke's match, is that anything can happen. So I could very well lose my next match, and Kayzo can very easily win.
Yeah, everything can be done in Rando.
Yep, absolutely. Like I say, again, even this seed was a perfect example. Kayzo, you were ahead, and the only thing that changed was one decision, and that's all. That's all that can happen.
I will remember that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when Phantom Ganon had magic. It was just the deepest of forest had the one thing which really which absolutely tore, sort of just put you right into the lead there, Engineer. It was a massive find.
The entire forest temple was just horrible too. I was convinced I lost because that was right after I did the entire wasteland. Because I forgot my shoes.
Right.
So the entire time I was doing forest, I'm just like, just please finish Kayzo. Just put me out of my misery. I've lost. I get it.
If the Mirror Shield and magic was nowhere in Forest Temple, I think I could have won if I followed the logic.
Oh yeah, 100%. You followed the logic perfectly. It's just unfortunately the logic was completely crap.
We were really worried at the end that you were going to find that second magic and then get drawn into Shadow or something as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, those.
I was thinking because even if Kayzo was looking for magic, then he wouldn't be baited into Shadow. Then he didn't have magic, so I kind of limited the options. But I guess the Jabu bait was.
Yeah.
Well, if that wraps up interviews, then any other questions?
I think that's all I've got.
Yeah. Okay then.
That's all I got.
Well, thank you too for racing. That was very fun to watch, and it was very back and forth. So glad we very enjoyed it. Thank you to our wonderful commentators. You guys did a great job. Thank you to chat. You guys entertained us throughout the entirety of it, and thank you for watching as well. Thank you to our two wonderful trackers, Mama Sheepy and Bladefang. They both did an amazing job, especially Bladefang for covering for Mama Sheepy after Internet DC. But yeah, good teamwork there, so thank you both. And yeah, I'm gonna throw it over to ZSR1, where Shadow is hosting the match between Exodus and Rosca Tyrant, so stay tuned and watch that, and see you guys.
GG guys, thank you very much.
GG, well done.
GG.